is a live presentation of CBC Sports.
This afternoon in Canada's easternmost province, it's a Western showdown on the second last draw at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. Manitoba's Jennifer Jones, the round-robin leader at 7-2, can take a big step towards clinching first place this afternoon by beating Saskatchewan. And Stefanie Lawton can create a logjam at the top and also remain in the chase for first place with a victory this afternoon over Manitoba. So it's 7-3 Saskatchewan against 7-2 Manitoba in this key battle at the Scotts. From the wharf at Kitty Vitty, we move inside Mile 1 Stadium in St. John's, Newfoundland for the second last draw in the 2005 Scott Tournament of Hearts, a game that features Manitoba at 7-2, Jennifer Jones against 7-3 Saskatchewan, skipped by Stefanie Lawton. Hi everybody, I'm Don Whitman. Well, this afternoon, Jennifer Jones could take a big step towards clinching first place with a victory. She still has a game remaining this evening while Saskatchewan completes the round-robin portion of its schedule this afternoon. This is the way things stand heading into the second last draw. At the moment, it looks as though it will be very difficult for teams with 5 losses to qualify for a possible tiebreaker, but stranger things have happened. Another key matchup this afternoon, Ontario and Alberta. The winner still has a life. They are playing on Sheet D. British Columbia completes its schedule. Kelly Scott playing Newfoundland, Labrador. Team Canada, Colleen Jones, also at 6-3 playing Quebec. And the game we are focusing on, Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Manitoba 7-2, Saskatchewan 7-3. Joan McCusker, what do you think of the Saskatchewan chances against Manitoba?
Well, anytime in the Scott Tournament of Hearts, the Saskatchewan-Manitoba matchup is always a good game. You know it's going to be well played. Now, with playoff life on the line here, this is coming down to pressure. The Miller sisters are no doubt an amazing shot-making pair. They've got intensity. If you've heard them yell and scream, they are in every shot. If they can start the way they finished last night against Ontario, this is going to be one heck of a battle.
Well, that comeback had to be a big boost in their confidence last night against Ontario. Mike, an opportunity for Jennifer Jones to wrap up, or not wrap up, but really take a stranglehold on first place.
Well, it's a huge game for Manitoba. If the teams with 3 losses continue to win, this means difference between first place and fourth place for Manitoba. So I don't think there's any lack of motivation here against Saskatchewan. They've been playing great all week, Manitoba has, and they're going to be extremely tough to beat today.
Well, that's the game we'll be focusing on, but we'll keep you up to date on the 2-3 other critical matches. Let's take a look at the key battle in this afternoon's game.
We're taking a look at the thirds. The skips are 1 and 2, very evenly matched, but Marliese Miller is a shot maker. She's been making all the big shots to set up the ends for Stefanie Miller. Kathy Overton-Clapham has been more up and down this week. When we saw her yesterday, she was a little bit inconsistent, so she's going to need to set things up for Jennifer Jones when they play with lots of rocks in play.
Well, I think when given the opportunity from Manitoba, we will see a lot of rocks in play. And we'll be back for the first rocks of this Manitoba-Saskatchewan showdown after these messages.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Scott Paper Limited and its family of quality paper products.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
The new Ford 500. We thought about space safety architecture to give you more protection. We thought about command seating to give you a better view of the road. We thought about all-wheel drive for more control. We thought about all these things so you'll have less to think about. The new Ford 500. We keep thinking about what a sedan should be because we want you to drive a Ford.
Tim Hortons Briar rolls into Regina next March, but only 2006 full event passes are on sale at the Agrodome box office. And when they're gone, they're gone. On February 24th, you can purchase in person, by phone, or online. So remember, February 24th, 10 a.m.
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch?
Thinking soup.
Or sandwich?
Sandwich, that's good.
No. That's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch, okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's?
Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun. And our new creamy field mushroom soup in a combo, just $6.49.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Tim Hortons, toasted ham and Swiss and soup combo. By the original Strauss Heart Drops, trust the tradition. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Welcome back to Mile One Stadium in St. John's. Two of the four teams in the chase for first place will complete their schedule, the round-robin portion, this afternoon. Stefanie Lawton, the 2000 Canadian Junior Champion, being one of them. Kelly Scott from British Columbia being the other. Jennifer Jones and her Manitoba teammates play the Territories this evening, while Colleen Jones and Team Canada will play Prince Edward Island this evening. So there are still a number of mathematical possibilities as to how the playoff picture could evolve. But right now, it's looking as though teams with 5 losses are no longer in contention, unless Ontario beats Alberta this afternoon and loses to Nova Scotia this evening, and Colleen Jones loses both of her games today to Quebec and Prince Edward Island. Kathy Gauthier, Manitoba lead, taking a look.
Make sure you're real tight.
At the Saskatchewan Stone in the Rings, Manitoba with last rock advantage to start this critical game in the second last draw here at the Scott.
Right to it. Go. Hard as possible. Go. Hurry. Okay, Kath. Shoot. Fight's pretty good. At 3? Yeah.
Manitoba would have liked that corner guard to curl a little bit more. Takes away access on the intern side to that Saskatchewan Stone to the back of the button.
A little bit for line 2. Hold it there then, yep.
Are you surprised that Manitoba is being aggressive on this opening end?
Needs to go. Yep.
A little bit. They are the most aggressive team here. They definitely take more chances than any other team in this Tournament of Hearts. But even in the first end, when we watched Manitoba before, they have played a little bit defensive. So, yeah, I am surprised that they took that chance. I'm proud of them. Go for it.
Like 10.
As I said in one of the other telecasts, when I'm playing, I don't like all the rocks in play. But when I'm commentating and watching, I sure do.
10.
And one of the features of the free guard zone, the 4-rock free guard zone, is you can remove your own stones. So Manitoba's actually playing a run back here. And if they do remove their own stone, there's no penalty for that.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry, Kath. That's my fault. Sorry.
Jennifer Jones saying it was her fault.
I think she just called the sweep early on that stone, anticipating that it might move, and it didn't. I think that's what she's referring to as the sweep call.
Again, we go back to this. We're on sheet D, which is the straightest sheet we've seen out here. Only about 2.5 to 3 feet of curl at most for draws, and where some of the other sheets have been 4.5 feet. So even the hits, and the hits have been running especially straight on this sheet.
As you saw, Sherry Singler, the Saskatchewan second, is tied for first place in curling percentage during round robin play.
Very nice. There'll be a double peel attempt here. Get rid of both of those yellow stones and remove the shooter.
Watch for the stone they're hitting. If they hit it at the right angle, they may get some action on that stone on the button.
While Singler has a share of the #1 position at 83%, Jill Officer is 79%.
Hard, Kath. Roll it. Hard. Go, go. Hard. Okay.
It's a great matchup at second between Jill Officer and Sherry Singler. They're both very solid. There's not a lot of weaknesses in their game. You expect a consistent showing by both of them.
The only time these two teams have faced each other this year was in the Autumn Gold Classic in Calgary, where Stefanie Lawton won, and she went on to win that event.
Hard then.
And then a week later went to Medicine Hat and won another cash spiel.
Got to go to get this one over, I think.
We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it.
Took a lot of effort, and they couldn't drag it across the hog line. Losses to British Columbia and Prince Edward Island, the only blemishes on the record of Jennifer Jones of Manitoba. By the way, if there is a tie-breaking situation involving more than 3 teams that have identical records and it can't be determined by wins and losses among the teams competing, they go to a closest to the pin competition that was held prior to round robin play getting underway, and Manitoba won that. Now, Manitoba in the provincial playdowns this year, the Jennifer Jones team, involved in a tie-breaking situation. They did not win the draw to the button
if the line's good, we'll sweep it for
event, and as a result had to play 4 extra games to get to the final.
3.
Well, 2 big misses there from both seconds. That was very surprising. The hog guard and then the wide open miss from Jill Officer, Team Manitoba.
Where? 2, 3. Line's good. Let it work.
Sure you tight. Sure you tight.
Let it work.
It's got to work a lot.
At the end here. Yep.
Go now. Hard. Hurry. Well, even. Yep. Get him even.
Hard.
Get him even. Come on. Hard. Hard.
That's good. Nice shot.
Good sweep.
Saskatchewan protecting the shot stone, sitting at the back of the button.
I don't think there's a hole. Okay.
Should be another double peel attempt by Kathy Overton-Clapham.
I like the one on the left side to go, actually. That's what it's covering.
Peel. Peel.
As you look at it, it's the one on the right side of the center line that is providing more protection for the shot stone.
This is a great opportunity to get rid of both guards. Not a really tough double peel.
Whoa. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Onto the top yellow, and she
Okay.
slides it past the other yellow stone. Shooter rolls almost out of play, but will not be a factor.
Same thing. It's cool. Same way, it's fine. Yeah.
Saskatchewan continue to play guards on the shot stone, sitting in the center of the button.
We talked about both of these teams and their competitive seasons this fall, and they were very different. Stefanie Lawton's squad starting out to a very strong Bonspiel season, winning events early, whereas Jennifer Jones had a very slow start. This is a new team, the combination of the four of them, and they were not very successful early in the competitive Bonspiels.
Okay. Or 10. I just have all. Just. Even if we go here, it's not bad.
No, I like that actually.
9.5 to 10. Okay.
Possible double, but hit and roll to the corner is a good option. It'll force Saskatchewan to play the stone in the rings and open up that shot stone on the button.
Because they don't have last rock, they wouldn't be able to take that chance of leaving another rock in, giving up too early in the game.
Are they by the guard?
Go, go.
Just
Go, Jen, get into the 4.
drives it back onto the shot stone, and the shot rock now is on the edge of the 4.
Sorry, Cass.
Good news for Manitoba is that Yellowstone does get popped out into the open and is accessible on the intern side.
I know. So I'll just put us back. So the cat.
Should there be any concern here on Saskatchewan's part about a possible jam?
Not really. It's a wide open plus by that guard. It really shouldn't be an issue. If they jammed it, they'd have to be hitting half a stone wide, and we've seen a number of these rocks curl too much, including Kathy Overton-Clapham's over curling.
Well, Stefanie Lawton has held the opposition to a single point when she has been without hammer 84% of the time. So this Saskatchewan team is very efficient at limiting the opposition to score more than one when they don't have last rock.
Good shot. Thanks.
Jennifer Jones
Do I have any
taking
space?
a look at the rock on the edge of the 4 foot. A little inside roll, I think, is what she would like with this shot.
Absolutely. Turn this end around.
Put that back, I think, Jillian.
Possibly have a chance to score 2 if they can make the roll in behind that
Jen?
Yep.
center
All right,
guard.
let's go.
Certainly like to roll at least half buried where Saskatchewan couldn't hit and stay on it.
And if they do roll buried, Saskatchewan will be forced to freeze.
Yep. Right to it. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Will the guard come into play?
Hard.
She just got by.
Go. Nice shot.
Pretty good shot.
Good, Jen.
Plan B worked out very well.
Was it just 10?
Roll in behind the second Yellowstone.
It's a little inside, eh?
Be partially exposed on the outturn side, but
The key word would be partially.
yeah, and taking play away from the 4 foot area, which is great for Manitoba here in the first end. Tough shot to hit and stay here, and I don't think Stefanie Lawton's even that concerned about it. This Yellowstone is in her vision as she comes out here. You got to be a little bit careful, and we've seen again. We mentioned it earlier. Up your weight a little bit on this sheet in particular, and the rock will float down the sheet and won't make any move at all. Tough shot.
You bet from the hack, only about half the stone is exposed.
Yep. Oh. Yep.
Is she on her own?
Yeah.
So it will be a free draw for 2 with last rock for Jennifer Jones on an end where Saskatchewan early was controlling.
Shows you how quickly things can turn around. And worth noting, I think, with Manitoba, that Jennifer Jones has been extremely hot this week.
Weight's the same?
We talked about the key matchup at third, but quite often Jennifer Jones has been able to bail her team out of trouble, throwing big weight hits and some freezes, and
So do I
has
want
really been the player that has led this team.
8 to 85. It's
And
going to slide
saw it
good for
again
us.
here in the first end. Great hit and roll.
And that's an amazing story considering
Good point,
she's
guys.
been
Let's make it-
sick
let's
all
make
week.
it, Jen.
And Donna talked yesterday about having a ear infection. She's had a bad cold. And when I was speaking to her on the way out to the ice today, she said one night she spent throwing up all night. So she has been ill, still playing fantastic.
Final stone of end number 1 with the hammer. Jennifer Jones ranks number 1 among teams here in the ability to score more than 1 point. 50% of the time she has picked up 2.
Haven't said anything. Are we okay? Yeah, we're telling it to Woes. Where you at?
Talking to the stone. Works sometimes.
Very nice, Jen.
Down to the edge of the button to pick up a deuce on the opening end. So Manitoba is first on the board in this Western Showdown.
Hi, I'm Betty Hinton, Member of Parliament for Kamloops, Thompson, Caribou.
And I'm Jim Strauss, manager of the Strauss Herd Company.
We'd like to invite you to join us to attend the Strauss Canada Cup of Curling this March in beautiful Kamloops, British Columbia. Bring your skis and take a few runs at the Sun Peaks Resort.
Or bring your golf clubs and play our award-winning Kamloops golf courses.
Above all, enjoy watching the best curlers in the country at this year's Strauss Canada Cup of Curling.
Come join us in Kamloops.
Curling. With every game played, your contact to the world expands. With over 1 million participants utilizing 1,100 clubs across the country, curling is an entertaining, social way to stay active. Play for fun, play to win, or just come out and enjoy the membership benefits. Clubs can be assisted by the Canadian Curling Association's Development Fund, which serves to promote, renovate, and offer advice on operations. Get involved. Join a club near you today. It has lifetime value.
It's bred for European tastes, but built for North American desires. With a seductive, ergonomic design, provocative performance, responsive power, sexy, low-profile wheels, eye-popping curb appeal, and superb handling in tight corners. Not to mention driveways, decks, and even those silly motor cars. The Karcher high-pressure washer. You really have no options.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts is coming to London's John Labatt Centre next February, and full event passes are on sale now. For the best seats in the house, you can call toll-free or order online. Come join us in the Forest City.
When Canadians want to know the whole story, they turn to CBC News, bringing you the Canadian perspective. The source Canadians trust. CBC News, The National, with Peter Mansbridge, weeknights at 10.
Canada's new online magazine for arts, media, and entertainment. The latest trends and ideas shaping music, film, television, books, and more. Bringing you face-to-face with the people and issues shaping culture today. cbc.ca/arts.
Well, Marcel Rock, who throws lead stones for Randy Furby, will be busy starting on the 5th of March in Edmonton at this year's Brier. He flew in last night to watch wife Raylene play with Kathy King and her Alberta teammates. Raylene was saying that Marcel came up with a pretty good line after she had most disappointing 34% in a game the other night. He said, maybe you should identify yourself by your maiden name. And Alberta is involved in a game against Ontario. This is a key matchup this afternoon. Both teams with 4 losses. And with the final stone, Jen Hanna again with that great touch with the draw weight to pick up a second point. What a shot she made last night to defeat Saskatchewan. So it's 2-0, Ontario leading Alberta after 1.
Yeah, it is. Go, go.
There's been much made about the 4-rock rule and how the hammer isn't as important as it once was. But you know what? It's great to get the hammer in the first end, and it's great to jump out in front. And you know, taking advantage with the deuce in the first end. We saw both Manitoba and Ontario. It really puts your opponents into a difficult situation early. And I love having that hammer in the first end now.
Wait, guys. Right here.
And such a turnaround in the end that we just saw with Manitoba, Saskatchewan. And another proof of the saying, it only takes one good shot to get your deuce when you have the last rock in an end. Even when things aren't shaping up, if you can get that one good shot by your third or skip, usually things will set up for you. And that was Jennifer Jones' hit and roll behind the second Saskatchewan stone. Turned out beautifully. And we were talking about yesterday's telecast, the number of players that do not lift their stone any longer in their delivery. Kathy Gauche is one of the old school that still does. She has a lift delivery.
Have you calculated just how many there are here?
I counted 5. And that's not very many. Out of the 12 teams.
Kathy, a two-time Canadian champion with Connie Laliberti in 1992 and 1995. And here's a world junior champion. Chelsea Bell was with Marlies Miller in 2003 when they were the #1 team in the world. Will it make contact with the red rock? Just going to slide by, but it will remain in play back in the 12-foot.
Had a great opportunity missed there by getting a rock in front of the tee line.
I think it's the same. All right.
And rest assured that both Kathy King and Jen Hanna are taking a glance at this game, because a Saskatchewan loss means that 4 losses would get them into a tiebreaker situation.
Whoa, let it work.
5.
So the winner of Ontario and
No,
Alberta
it's not curling at all.
would still have a shot at the playoff picture.
Stop. No.
I'm sure they're watching all 3 sheets, not only this one.
Okay,
BC and Team Canada also with 3 losses.
Good weight.
Never like waiting for help.
Nice weight, Jill. Is there a hole there? Those 4-foot lines today are not. You could play it, maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But this one's a little bit higher.
It's time to bail out a little bit for Saskatchewan. They do have last rock. They'd like to be able to use that rock behind the tee line, the red rock belonging to Manitoba. But when there are stones in the control area right in front of the house, you need to shake them up early in the end.
A former track and field competitor who was slated to compete in the Summer Games in Brandon in 1997. Well, there was a hole there that the stone was able to slide through as she caught too thin a piece of the top rock. But she tore tendons in her shoulder in warming up with the javelin and was unable to compete.
Don't mind here.
Steph Lawton had asked Sherry if there was a hole there.
Yes.
Didn't look. If she made contact with that top stone, the rock would slide through.
Top round line's good. Clean it. Top 4. Whoa, let it work. Sorry, whoa.
7.
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
7. Sit down.
Good weight, Joe.
And that came in too deep. Sets up the double for Saskatchewan. And a chance to lie too.
Definitely straighter. It didn't move at all.
Just off nose, Sherry.
The aggressive nature of Jennifer Jones. Another option would have been just after you throw a guard here. She wanted to bring that stone right into the top of the 4-foot around that guard, and the weight was great, just didn't curl.
A little outward motion here from Sherry, and this rock will run straight.
Okay,
That's
sure,
good.
that's fine.
Many of the curlers called this ice unforgiving early in this week, meaning on your hits that they needed to throw the rock cleanly towards the broom. If they pushed it away from the broom or towards the target, it would not, you could not be held to a sweeping, it wouldn't come back to curl. Just the kind of ice conditions it is here with takeout weight, they need to be very, very accurate.
Well, room. 4. Wait on, yep. 5. Yep. Hard. Hard. Room. Bite the 8. Yep.
Good looking shot here.
Hard. Hard.
Just by the guard.
Great shot, Kath. That a girl. Good brushing.
Very good shot by Kathy Overton Clapton. Manitoba again lies 2.
Oh, that's much. Could do that, but right to it, Marlies is great.
Excellent shot there. No access for an inside roll on that stone on the button.
14-2 on that one, hey?
Looking for a freeze.
And that's an example of the phrase, the Christmas tree, where every rock is overlapping the other one in a line.
Close line. Where's the weight? No. No line. No line. Let it work. Where? 7, guys.
7, 8.
6. Well then.
Just needs to curl up to the face.
6 only though. 6
Coming now.
Just
Yup,
right to it. Perfect line.
Solid late finish on the stone to come down to the Manitoba rock. Excellent shot by Marlies Miller. She played third for her sister, Stefanie, when they won the Canadian Junior Championship in the year 2000.
Mike and I were at a junior clinic this morning working with some young players, and we had a chance to talk with them afterwards, and one of the young women came up and she said, "Do you want to know who my hero is?" And I said, "Sure, tell me." And she said, "Marlies Miller." I said, "Oh, I think you've got a good role model there. That young woman makes a lot of shots."
Kathy Overton Clapton trying to follow almost the same path as she on the guard. Just a little rub.
That's me. Sorry.
Great weight, Kathy. Lost it.
When I said guard, I meant the stone that was sitting in the rings. That was going to be something of a problem to get by.
Yeah, there's a good chance here for Saskatchewan. They can make the double and stay in front of those stones at the back on the button. And difficult decision then for Jennifer Jones, what she's going to do.
Yeah, just play and take that guy.
They save their shooter right in this area here. Big trouble for Manitoba.
Even this would do
One
it.
lonely red stone at the back of the button.
Okay. Let's go firm.
They were just discussing which rock they wanted to hit first, but I really don't think it matters which of those 2 stones you hit first. The placement will stay the same. It'll jiggle in to be sitting right in front of their yellow stone.
Whoa. Straight off. Close. Close. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really curled.
Right into the pocket to remove both Manitoba stones.
They were very close to the guard on that.
It's a great shot, though.
My throat is
Kind of took a big turn on them.
Mine's starting to get better now.
Only had less than an inch by that guard.
Good call. Great shot.
Just got to make sure we don't overroll it, eh?
No, I know, since she just freezes.
10.
Nice thing for Manitoba here is that red stone is lined up to the one on the back.
Just want to roll it right in front.
For hit and roll.
Okay. If anything, under roll it, Jill.
10.
Like anything, I'd rather almost just nose it. Just clean. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Looking for a roll.
Good. Good. Atta girl. Nice shot.
She gets a bit of a roll to the center line.
That was perfect. She talked about not wanting to roll all the way behind their own redstone was not the call. They wanted to be sitting in front of those shot stone.
Yeah.
Do you like peeling the 6 and leaving a draw the button this way?
Try peeling it into that 7.
Well, you don't really want to draw down to 5. She'll probably just guard or corner freeze on you, but she ever...
I don't know. I don't mind peeling it into here. We can do that.
Okay.
Careful though.
To there?
Do you guys like that?
Or just peel this?
Can you run the red back? Well, this is jamming here.
It's just jamming.
Well, what if we play it this way?
It'll pull it this... No, I'll pull it that way. It's lined up pretty much to here, though, hey?
Oh, and we won't even be like... Oh, let's make a decision.
She's only going to use her 7, but she can't get shot rock out of it, hey?
No.
You don't really want to be forced to one. Let's peel a 6. You can
Do
just straight peel it,
I would
too.
like to peel in.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
And what do you want to accomplish with that?
I want to get rid of these two. Do you like that?
Yeah, I like that. Just off the nose, then?
Yeah. Peel weight.
We got to make sure
Maybe a little bit less.
we don't pick off our 5.
Yeah.
Well, the Miller sisters have curled together so much that they're almost always on the same page when it comes to strategy.
I'm not sure I like this shot, and the only reason is it's a little bit dangerous. If you happen to run it past onto the corner of your own yellow, your yellow's going to zip out of the rings there. So they're looking to double off the top 2.
Yeah, let's go.
But they worked through all their options, and I thought it was very logical. I like this call.
Yep! Yes! Hard!
She yelled immediately upon release for them to jump on it.
Probably a little bit, Chels.
She's just going to drive it straight through. And the stone she just threw remains out front.
Now, right now, if Manitoba doesn't throw, extremely difficult for Saskatchewan to get 2. We'll see what Jennifer Jones elects to play.
Yeah, but she can get it for 2 bucks.
I think.
Because they will block her draw, too.
Yeah.
Looking to cut off that outside angle raise on that yellow stone.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Which appears to be the only way to score 2. This is the only way into the button, it appears, so they'd like to throw the guard.
We're just trying to block her
right
draw
in this area.
And blocks has got a raise on that yellow.
Yeah, she's got the slash. Yeah. Like this shot, Jen.
Don't think there's a draw available. Well, possibly a draw available.
They're blocking the outturn draw to that
even 85
T-line
is fine.
as much as the button, and I think this is the only way for her to draw for her 2 points. So she can block both shots by playing this guard.
So this final stone from Jennifer Jones could serve a dual purpose. Blocking a potential draw and an angle raise.
I'm good. Yep. Coming off a little. Whoa.
Certainly don't want this, again, don't want this down to the T on. They're calling 6 out.
Hard! 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 Yeah, right here. Fighting 5. One! Hard!
Nice shot.
Hard, hard, hard. Good, John. Would you split, Billy? 69.
Let's check in on Ontario and Alberta. Ontario with 2 on the opening end. The final stone for Kathy King on end number 2.
Fine, fine.
She needs the touch here to come down to the red rock at the back, and she will get shot stone as a result. I had to take a close look at it, but it was shot rock belonging to Alberta. 2-1 Ontario leads through 2.
Because we have to get it on a pretty tight angle, and I don't want to be bumping us out or anything.
It's just a redirect into this area. They can tap back this little red stone and lie 2. It's a very difficult shot.
A little dangerous as well. If she hits it too thinly, she might be able to pop her own off the button too. It's, but you know.
She's throwing it with bumper weight, which I think that's highly unlikely with lightweight. Mike.
Yep, Ben. Yeah!
Trying to play in off a red stone. Into the 4-foot. They have to make this contact. They have to get the roll. They have to tap back that red stone, and she just slides behind it. So it's a single point on end number 2 for Stefanie Lawton of Saskatchewan, and Manitoba leads by 1 through 2.
Best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
That's great.
The roar you hear is 20 of Canada's top women's and men's teams competing for the right to represent us in Italy in 2006. And no city in Canada roars more than Halifax.
As official supplier to Curling's Season of Champions, True Value Hardware presents quality products for your house. Our own Master Mechanic brand is made to last. All hand tools have a lifetime guarantee on workmanship and material. Master Mechanic, your purchase of a lifetime. True Value, around the corner from your house.
Come try your first end.
I wasn't sure, but I tried it.
Your very first end.
We tried it.
You should try it.
Now we do it together.
Get out.
Go curling.
It's so much fun!
Meet between the sheets. Be part of a tradition.
Be part of a team.
You don't know what you're missing.
You never forget your first end.
Your very first end.
Come play.
Discover curling.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
Get off your butt and go curling!
When we set out to replace Cottonelle with an even better Cottonelle, we asked women, what could be softer than cotton?
Flannel. Silk.
Cashmere. Oh my. Introducing new Cashmere from Cottonelle, now quilted to be irresistibly soft.
Canada's top women curlers. 12 teams. 1 champion. The battle for the Scott Tournament of Hearts. Coverage continues tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern on CBC Television.
Newfoundland Labrador playing Kelly Scott of British Columbia. Heather Strong with her final stone of the second end. She blanked the first to retain last rock advantage. She picked up 2 in the second end, and that was a shot she played in the third end.
And BC came down and picked that Newfoundland stone out and blanked the end. So after 3 ends, that game is still 2-0 for Newfoundland.
Good shot.
Well, center guard thrown up here by Team Saskatchewan, down 1 without, now going into third end.
Line's really good. Way up there. Whoa, room.
Full 8.
No, we're not full.
Room. Full 8. Line's perfect. Full 8. Just full 8.
Newfoundland's Heather Strong has only won 1 game here.
Very nice catch.
She leads Kelly Scott of BC by the 2-0 score now through 3 as Scott was able to blank end number 3. And a victory by Strong could severely damage the playoff hopes of Kelly Scott.
A little bit for line.
Scott coming in with a record of 7-3.
Well, again, nice thing for British Columbia is that their worst case scenario is a tiebreaker, so they have made it to the final few teams anyway, and there will be around for the weekend. Certainly they'd like to secure a spot in one of the Page games today with a victory, though.
And just 3 losses would do that. Colleen Jones also has just 3 losses. She has a 7-3 record, trailing Quebec 2-0, playing the third end. Brenda Nichols with a 3-7 record.
Hard.
Try, Kath.
A rub on the guard by Kathy Gauthier.
No, we had 10. Huh? No, we had 10. Oh. I timed it 9-9. Play the short run back. Up turn.
Me again.
Play that.
Think it's gonna run straight? Threw that well?
Yeah.
Thought they were gonna get it by?
I did too. Kathy told me I had 10.
Yeah, you were
Yikes.
firm. That's where mine curled in the first stand, but I didn't want to hit. Like, I thought if anything, we tick the guard, it's better than hitting it high.
Yeah.
That was a good chance there for Manitoba to lie too. Saskatchewan looking for the raise now.
Just control!
Saying they're attempting to push her own stone back onto the red rock belonging to Manitoba. And she does.
Great shot, Shay.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Hard!
Hard. Right to it. Okay, sorry, Jill. Nice one.
A nose hit by Jill Officer.
Saskatchewan would like to make a roll here. Nose hit would provide an opportunity for a double here for Manitoba.
Whoa. Same weight. Whoa. It's a touch more. Whoa. Close.
No, it's the same.
It's close to the same. Or less. It's down.
It's going to stay right there.
Jennifer Jones not worrying about that stone on the left side of the sheet. She's going to try to hit and roll off the stone just thrown by Saskatchewan.
Close.
But the natural inclination in that position be to attempt a double.
It would be. I'm a little surprised, but you know, again, we've seen this over and over and over again from Jennifer Jones, just trying to make a move on virtually every stone she throws, trying to get that hit and roll.
That was better weight, yeah.
Not content with just making the double and staying
That
open.
was better weight, Jill. First one's too quiet.
A lot of teams, though, with a 1-point lead and the hammer would try to kill both their opponent's stones and you know, retain the option of blanking the end by playing that hit and roll. You think with an exchange of stones, they will be forced to score in this end.
Yeah. Whoa. Yes. Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Yes. Hard. No roll. No roll. Good try.
Great roll.
And there's the roll that both teams have been looking for several shots. You know you're close when they're yelling, yes, no, yes, no. This is a tougher double now.
Much, much tougher. Need a little less than half of that Saskatchewan stone. You want the shooter to go in and kick that stone out from behind the guard.
Yep.
And if Kathy Overton Clapham is successful, her shooter will be behind cover.
Right to it. Okay.
But she's got a nose hit. Saskatchewan still lies one, it's protected.
Quiet, wait. Quiet, wait. Oh,
Saskatchewan has to be careful not to hit and roll and not quite get all the way behind the guard, leave a double. Right now, shot stone is so nicely guarded.
Nose hit actually wouldn't be bad. Just roll and maybe just roll on for a
up.
biter.
It's up. Yep. 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 Yes. Hard. Hard. Quick. Hard. Hard. Roll it.
That's an easier double.
No roller all the way, hey?
She had to roll it about another foot.
Halfway, no good. Yeah, good try. Just about had it. Try. Thanks. Nice first roll.
Yep. Well, yep.
Kathy Overton's Clapton's
Yep.
second stone at this end.
Whoa.
Tried to double with her first. She's trying a double with this one. She gets a jam.
Pass, sorry.
That was just miscalled by Jennifer Jones.
Tough when you had that all day. Yeah, it's in the top's all right then. Do you like the top? Yeah. Okay. Tighter. Okay, that looks good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
I think they're looking to tap their own stone.
I can't believe she played the hit and roll.
So they're coming in and trying to tap this stone farther into the button area and leaving their shooter there. Again, the danger is leaving their shooter wide open and another grouping the stones for a double.
You might be able to draw around. Come around the other way.
That's her other option is just a straight draw with the out turn wide around the top guard.
I don't mind the tap, but I don't know if I can get there.
Can you come around wide right now?
Pardon?
Can you come around wide right now? Is that
just
a double?
I don't know what you like.
What were you calling right now?
A little tap on it. Even if you're here, that's okay. Okay,
well,
sure.
Okay,
yep.
Yep. Let's go, Steph.
She expressed some concerns as to whether or not she would be able to get there to tap the stone back.
Well, and exactly what Joan drew up there. You don't want to have your shooter roll open and leave a short double for Manitoba.
It's just
You've got a good situation here.
No, line. Yes, then split it. Are we getting roll? Yes. 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 Hard. 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 Hard.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Good shot.
There's a double chance there now for Jennifer Jones.
Okay. Sorry, we were sweeping because we thought it was a 3 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two yellow rocks forming a pocket.
Needed this stone here to roll a little deeper into the rings to not allow a double.
Kind of in between shots there.
Yeah.
They said 3 and then we were sweeping for line because it was.
Yeah, because I thought it would curl with 3 of that.
Manitoba leading by a point with last rock advantage.
Some like the guard, some like to come around, sway, so I don't know.
Jennifer Jones also able to throw firm hit weight.
Throwing a 9 here?
Got
8.5 to
that in
9.
her
Okay,
repertoire. It's a good weapon to have when you like a lot of rocks in play. You have the ability to move a lot of stones with one shot. Almost a necessity when you want to leave some opponent's stones in the rings.
Yep. Hard! Hard!
Will she get both yellow rocks?
Hard!
She's got one. She's got the second stone to lie one.
I'll get better at the line calls.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
Great shot here. Shooter actually stays partially covered, not allowing Saskatchewan an inside roll.
That's curling though, like
I knew, and you know what? Remember when I threw that in practice
Yeah,
at
it
Crow,
moves,
but I
yeah.
was worried that if I put it back, then I don't have a chance. I'd rather nose it than miss everything.
And obviously, depending upon where this stone comes to rest, of course, Jennifer Jones is thinking blank to retain last rock advantage into N4.
Nothing, guys.
Sherry's good now. We got a piece.
Marlene's hard on it.
And it will be an easy blank for Jennifer Jones.
Yeah, I'll try to throw like a 10.
Okay.
And with an easy blank like this, the team will take a look at a spot in the ice they want to see with normal hit weight, just in case.
Try to throw like a 10.
They would have that later.
I have seen points taken. You know that.
Kathy Gauthier is laughing. She didn't go down to sweep. She sent down the young and Jill officer to do the extra brushing.
Experience coming to the fore.
Yeah. You're right. It's being the oldest on the team.
Yeah, be careful.
Nice throw.
Threw it directly at the brush, blanking the end, leading by a point, retaining last rock advantage into 4.
Back pain. It can affect more than your back. Robax Platinum, a special combination of 2 active ingredients. One to relieve back pain, the other to relax tense back muscles. Robax Platinum, helping you walk away from back pain.
Hurry! 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 Come on! Hurry hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry!
Two keys.
Hey, thanks. Cheers.
Give him to me! Give him to me! Oh, I think you've sprained his neck! Alexander Keith labored on this pier since 1820, and you plonk it on the head like it's a piñata! It's the pride of Nova Scotia. Give it the respect it deserves. Now, grab that there napkin, make a wee
Listen,
neck
Mr.
brace.
Sonic,
No, Nancy, you've done enough for one night. Wrap it around. Not a hat! A neck brace, Jimmy! Is it so difficult? It's not a fashion show, it's an emergency!
Rock your world. There's only one way. It starts by getting tickets to the Fort World Men's today.
The world's best curlers are coming to Victoria. Now there are new ticket packages ranging from 2 days to 4 days and priced from just $75. Call toll-free or online at FordWorldCurling.com.
This is where the world will rock. Victoria.
Saturday night.
Our objective is to win the war.
Going behind enemy lines.
Drop him now!
To find one last survivor.
I can't leave and gather your gear.
Saving Private Ryan. Part of CBC's movie night in Canada. Saturday.
I'd stab him. I'd poison him. I'd shoot him.
Miss Marple returns with all new mysteries that will keep you guessing.
How clever.
Until the very end.
How wicked.
4:50 from Paddington. Sunday at 8 on CBC.
2-1 Saskatchewan leads Manitoba through 3. Let's check in on Team Canada and Quebec.
It's the third end. They're down 2. Team Canada making the nice pick, and they get 3. We said earlier, the longer they're in, the stronger they get.
And let's move over to Ontario, Alberta.
And Jen Hanna is absolutely on fire. Last end, she made a triple and then a freeze, forcing Kathy King to draw the button. This end, she made a raise on her first one. Kathy King followed up with a freeze to the button and a second raise, results in a deuce for Ontario to go up 4-1 in that huge game.
Well, Saskatchewan can certainly attest to the shot-making ability of Jen Hanna, suffering a 7-6 loss with an incredible 10th end shot by Hanna last night.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Saskatchewan down 6-2 against Ontario last evening. They fought back to get on even terms, and in the 10th end, a great draw by Stefanie Lawton with her final stone, and it looked as though she was about to steal the winning point. She had reason to smile, because all that was left was a draw through a very narrow port and a tap back on her own right to the button. 7-6, Ontario won.
It's coming down, it's coming down. Yeah, go, 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 go. A little bit. Whoa. Yeah.
Go, Julie, go, go,
Good.
go.
Good catch.
Nice weight.
Well, I don't think there's much doubt as to the hottest shot maker out there right now. Certainly, Jen Han has been making everything. The only question is whether she dug herself too deep of a hole early in the week.
And Stefanie Lawton said after, there was nothing I could do about it. I thought I might have had the winning point.
Shot there, and there was nothing we could do about it. We made their shots the best that we could, and we had the momentum going there, but she made a great shot to finish off the game, and, well, it's a tough loss to take, but that's how curling goes.
And some people are referring to the shot by Jen Hanna last night as one of the top shots all time in Scott Tournament of Hearts history.
Well, certainly to win a game, we see a lot of great shots at the Scott, and certainly the final stone to win a game. When your back's against the wall, the pressure is what made that very, very difficult. And those who watched, I mean, Jen Hanna came through that port on her first stone as well, forcing the in-turn draw by Stefanie Lawton. And again, Stefanie came through as well. And sometimes in a well-played game, there's not a lot you can do. But, you know, Ontario still needs help if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, got a curl. No, we're on it.
Okay. Hard 10. Okay, that's not bad. Hard 10.
Let's check in on Kelly Scott of British Columbia, Newfoundland, Labrador. This time we're on the correct end. Apologizing for the earlier miscue. And it's Kelly Scott with the final stone, tapping back the Newfoundland Labrador Rock to tie this game at 2 through 4.
Is it jamming on there right now or not? Yeah, it is. What do you like doing, Chelsea? It is right now. I don't know. You want to play this? Yeah? Okay. You like that?
Important for Saskatchewan, if they do play this race, that they want to save both of their yellow stones in the ring somewhere.
So it's the shooter that you're concerned about, Mike?
That's normal.
I'm concerned about both stones. Hopefully that stone will it's important to hit this on the right angle so that stone goes directly on. By hitting it on the high or the low side, it does affect how that stone gets pulled off the back stone. I think a nose hit, though, will do it. Tough to tell sometimes with these long angles.
Yep! Hard! Control hard! Whoa! Lean it!
So we want to watch how that back Yellowstone comes off.
It springs off right onto the red to lie shot.
Nice shot.
It was a good call by Stefanie Lawton.
Yep, lined up nicely there for her.
I like the nose on the top one.
I don't mind the nose on the top one either.
No, I don't like that.
I don't like this.
Control the front, we know
I
it.
like the front, absolutely, Kat. Yeah, if you get the pair, it's good. If not, we'll worry later.
The nose isn't the end.
The consensus at the throwing end was not the initial shot that Jennifer Jones called, so she switches.
Top stone is the one you need to worry about. Double possibilities there as well.
Just clean.
As well as controlling the right hand of the sheet.
Just clean. Whoa.
Onto the top yellow. She just slides it past the back yellow. Came very close to making a double.
But lost the shooter as well.
They needed to save the shooter there to put a little pressure on
No, it was
Saskatchewan.
good. I thought that last one was good. Hey, Charles? Control? Yeah. Which one do you want? Okay. This one? Control. Okay. Whoa. Control up. Up. Little up. Okay, whoa. Well, yes! Yes!
Got a pick there.
That's it.
It seemed to grab something late and started to move.
They were actually talked about whether it was going to jam or not, and all of a sudden this thing curled about 6 to 8 inches and actually rolls out on the low side. Certainly indicative of a pick.
When we watched Manitoba yesterday, there was several picks in that game, and there was lots of speculation as to what was causing it. And one of them was that there was lots of hairs from those hair brooms that you can see Manitoba using on the ice at the ice makers when they were cleaning the ice at the fifth end, and after the game found a lot of these short little black hairs.
Go for it! Wait only! Go for! Gotta be shot! Well, if you can.
I talked to Manitoba
Whoa,
before this game. They said they changed all those heads today as well. These are brand new hairbrush heads on those brooms. So this might be something that the curlers need to watch. They need to clean aggressively when they have those rocks coming down the ice.
Well, the majority of curlers are now using the synthetic brushes.
Correct. Well, you saw the little sticker there on Jill Officer's head, and that just the officials do inspect the heads to make sure there's not anything wrong with the head. So if they are shedding hairs, they'll force them to change, and just approved by the officiating crew in this event.
A little bit for line. Yep.
Is she tight on that guard?
A lot of weight for a freeze. 10 is back line, back 12.
We stick in there? Sorry.
Little panic on the sweep there, looks like.
It looked like she was a little soft on the release, that they were worried about line early.
Right? Yes, you've had
One great freeze there
I
from
think we gotta come this way, Kath.
Manitoba. Is
slow to go.
got the pressure on.
What? It's slow to go. Like it takes a long time to go, so we'll try to stay off. Same way.
Good comment from Kathy Gauthier about this stone taking a long time in this particular path to make a move.
She's just a great sweeper, I think, and a lot of experience at front end. And
Wait only! Let it
a lot
work!
of good decisions.
Line's good. Yep. Whoa. 6, 7. Yep. Hard! Whoa, wait only! Wait only, bite the 4. Just bite the 4. 6, 7. No, it's heavy. Whoa, oh. Whoa. Whoa. No. Whoa. Great shot, Kath. Very nice. Very nice, Caddy.
Beautiful.
That's right for Kath.
That's a great shot.
Bit of a problem now for Saskatchewan, down 1 here.
Come look?
Hate to give up 2.
You want to run it? I gotta play that. No.
Yeah.
Well, Marlies, of course, played third for her sister when she won the Canadian Junior Championship.
This side isn't doing anything. That's even if you catch a piece of it, it's like going there.
I'm meant to play it really tight to the guard and go like this.
Just pick
and
it.
move them off the 4 foot.
That's going there. You want to try?
I don't care.
Try running, Marlies.
I don't really like that because
Well,
it's so long.
what do you want to play then?
I want to play it tight and get this.
Okay. And if you peel the guard, that's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only see about 1.5 inches of that front stone.
So they're going to be playing the straight peel just to get the very edge of this rock through there. You might have a chance at clipping the second red stone too. This is a tough shot because she can only see the very edge.
And if you do hit it too thinly, you may jam it right onto that stone at the back of the 8 foot and leave Manitoba a chance to draw in the lie 3.
The tolerance here obviously is not to go whizzing right by, but to hit the high guard if you're going to miss.
Peel? Peel.
That is tight. Hard to see any of that stone.
Close. Whoa. No. Whoa.
This is fading.
Close. Whoa. Close.
It has to bend.
Whoa.
That's a great shot.
It is.
It's a fantastic shot. Best she could have done, I think.
Moved both red stones. Red still lies 1.
A great shot. Just caught enough of it to clip that red stone on the back of the button and
And
send it across the top of their own.
Yeah, and lose the first one. That
tough.
was the best that she could do in that situation.
Manitoba would like to keep the stone a little bit higher this time. That one slid a little too deep. Just bite the forefoot would be a perfect position for this stone.
That was the previous call from Jennifer Jones. Kathy Overton Clapham just sliding into the 4.
Wider line this time.
Hard! Hard! Bury it! Hard! Go, 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 go! Good brushing. Good shot.
Partially buried.
Okay, Kat. Wide open.
What's you like? It's like that? Because the double you have to play to this side, hey?
I guess.
Yeah. Do you like that? I was a little tight, but I had lots of weight, hey?
A little less ice then? Yep. Well, yeah, less, yeah, more release.
Nice thing for Saskatchewan is a freeze. This back stone will outcount this top Manitoba stone and should. It's not going to completely eliminate the deuce because Jennifer Jones can then come down and freeze on it herself, but it will eliminate the 2 red stones that are in the rings now.
It feels stickier too.
She may not follow it down. She has that tight little tap that Kathy Overton just put there too on the center line. That's why that rock being available to them. She's got options.
Line's great. Hard. Hard. Line's great. Yep. Hard. Yeah. Line's great. Yes. Just for weight. Yes. Where is it? Hard. Hard. Line's great. Vroom.
Whoa. Let it work.
Vroom. Right to it. Freeze it. Freeze it. Yeah. Yep. For line. Yeah. Hard. Right on it. Right on it. Right on it. Right on it. Hard.
Great shot.
That is a very nice shot.
Great brushing. Good sweeping.
Great shot. Thanks. Oh, a little bit more.
Yeah, just slightly more. Ugh.
An 8. Think I can throw bump?
At least bump, just to get it in case you rub
Or do you like
out
the tap?
If we tick the guard, she'd freeze again, eh? Or you can freeze to it.
It's probably not a bad shot, eh?
Yeah, I just want to take a look. I think.
Thought briefly about the double here. Looks like it's partially exposed in the back, that yellow stone on the
I
forefoot.
think probably the freeze.
Yeah.
Freeze.
That appears to be the consensus.
I think you have to look at what is the easiest of the options. Jennifer Jones did look briefly at playing a thin double here and getting rid of that yellow stone, those yellow stones, but that's a very, very difficult shot. So instead, she's looking at coming in and just following Stefanie Lawton down, making sure of her 1 point, perhaps having an opportunity for 2 on the tap if Stefanie Lawton doesn't deal with her stone.
She throws these very tight.
And even if she does not get shot stone here, the tap is still available regardless of what happens. So even beside her own stone leaves her 2 options on her next shot.
7.
You heard Jennifer making reference to the way Stefanie Lawton throws. Yes, we do pay attention to the opposition and how they're throwing stones. See if ours will react the same. And Stefanie Lawton's team tends to be inside rather than being wide. And that's working for them on this ice surface in this arena.
Well, Jennifer Jones made the comment that
Whoa, no line.
Lawton throws very tight.
Got a curl. Hard on the yellow calf.
I'm here.
Hard! Hard! Atta girl.
Very close as to which team has shot stone.
Trying to play it really thin.
Team Canada and Quebec. Team Canada and Colleen Jones leading by a score of 3-2, playing the 4th. And Brenda Nichols wasn't about to fool around with those stones on the button. She is going to take a point, and it's a 3-3 tie. Ontario, Alberta, 4-1. Ontario leading.
Ooh, dangerous. Alberta had a draw for 2. Did get it, but just.
It's close.
The nice thing for Manitoba on that shot is that they did get shot stone and forcing Saskatchewan to make a play on it. And Jennifer Jones will have some sort of shot to score one.
Stick there is not terrible either. Yeah.
Stick there may leave a little backline doubled over 3. I think you'd like to get a little bit inside.
Easy. Whoa. Whoa. Just whoa. Whoa. No. Right off.
This is way out there.
Right off. 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 That's a good shot, Steph. Good. Good shot.
She sits right there to lie 2.
Okay. That's fine. Good shot. Yep, that's fine.
I think it's just a shot for 1 for Manitoba. That worked.
There is a shot for 3, but with the 1 point lead, I think Manitoba again it's risky. Just a soft little, just draw down there for 1 and take your 1 and move on to the next end. If you had to score 3, it's there, but it's certainly very tough. You could come down with hack weight and just kind of rub that Yellowstone and get 3.
Oh,
but she's just drawing for 1. She's
like
just gonna draw
that
for
would
1.
be a near miss on the top.
Oh yeah, if you had to, but if you had to get 3, you could do it.
If you had to get 3, I'm sorry, but that was a low percentage shot.
Really?
I'm disagreeing with
If it was last rock to,
you could
to get 3.
It's certainly available.
Yeah.
But you play again. Just play with back 8-foot weight, back 12-foot weight, and if it hangs, great, you still get 1. But this is just a nice, same shot you just threw, basically. Just come down and come in off that stone for her 1. She does need to get a little bit on the low side, need to curl across the face of the stone to score.
8.
And her first one did not curl as much as they expected in the same spot.
Do you need a rub? Do you need a rub? 8.
Yep.
Yep. 8, yes.
Rusher's yelling out, you need a rub to get shot stone.
Quiet, Kath.
You're okay. You're okay.
She gets a little rub and gets a point. So Manitoba moves into a 2-point lead through 4 ends of play.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
With Jack Frost still nipping at your, well, you get the picture. The time is right for an early spring sojourn to the West Coast's most hospitable destination. Balmy. See something you like? And just for you folks who tend to get homesick, we've made special arrangements to add a little ice. Now that's got to feel a lot like home. Call now for package details. Victoria, British Columbia. Is there somewhere else?
Thunder. 120 decibels. Highway traffic. 70 decibels. Highway traffic inside a luxury sedan. 64 decibels. Inside the Ford F-150. 63. We keep thinking about tough because we want you to drive a Ford.
The Strauss Canada Cup of Curling in Kamloops is all about one thing: gold. Teams who have not yet qualified for the Canadian Curling Trials this December in Halifax will be going hard for one of the few remaining spots. Those teams which already own one of those coveted berths will want to have a say in who does or doesn't get one. Could be one of the most interesting events of the year. Got your tickets yet?
Hogwarts is no longer safe. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened.
Scared, Potter? You wish.
The adventure, the magic, and the danger return. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Clever out of there.
Sunday, March 6th on CBC.
Friday night. The laughs are on us.
What's up?
with Royal Canadian Air Farce. This hour has 22 minutes and the Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
It's so much fun. So much fun.
This week on CBC Comedy Friday.
Well, tiebreaker situations still exist. Manitoba's Jennifer Jones atop the standings, 7-2. She has a game remaining this evening against the Territories. With this game, Saskatchewan is finished. British Columbia is also finished. Canada's Colleen Jones has a game tonight against Prince Edward Island. Alberta and Ontario, one of them will have just 4 losses heading into the evening draw.
Short.
Go hard.
3.
Go hard.
Varsha, go, guys. Come on.
Alberta, however, is all finished, while Ontario plays Nova Scotia this evening.
It's short.
Still a chance that 5 losses, as mentioned, could get into a tie-breaking situation.
Whichever. They're just going to
do the corner. Let's do this one. Pardon? Okay, here.
Nice tight guard there for Manitoba to start the end. Just a couple of inches from the rings.
So Saskatchewan's options are to come around that tight guard or to throw their own corner guard.
6.
When the rock is that tight to the house, I kind of like the corner guard.
Yes! Finally! 5! Where are we? 5! Hard! Rub it a bit. Whoa,
Don't roll it in.
Okay.
Well, Manitoba leads by 2, and it's reflected in the statistics where Manitoba as a team is curling 85%, Saskatchewan 78%. The big difference at skip stones, Jennifer Jones 96%, Stefanie Lawton 56%.
Yep.
Right to it.
Yep.
Whoa. Yep. Hi. Whoa.
Stefanie Lawton did have a couple of shots she was trying that off in the second end where she would have received a 0 with really a tough shot, and then of course the miss in the first end that allowed Jennifer Jones to score 2. She's had a couple of tough ones, even though she had 56%. She doesn't appear to be actually throwing that. She made 2 great shots last end.
The best curler for Saskatchewan, Marliese Miller at 94%.
Not allowed to take this center line stone out of play. Need to sweep to get it by. Good shot.
But you'll see what I mean with the Saskatchewan team. They seem to be calling right out of the hand very often, all 4 team members. And different ice surfaces and conditions allow you different tolerances in the way that you throw the rock. If the ice is very, very swingy, the only way that you miss shots is by being a little bit tight to the broom. You can be allowed to throw it back to the broom and still make shots. On ice like this, that is actually fairly straight for arena ice, you can't have that tolerance of throwing away from the broom. If anything, you throw it a little bit tight and let your sweepers hold it.
That's why it's so important to become familiar with the throwing patterns and styles of every player on the team.
Absolutely.
It's also nice on a team to have players that throw the same too. It certainly will allow you to play the same type of shots with all 4 members of your team.
Just light kickoff. It's okay, but don't.
No, I know.
Yeah, I was just saying. What?
Yep.
Saskatchewan trailing by 2 has last rock on this 5th end.
Great shot.
Get it out, Steph. Get it out. Right out. Farther. That's a great shot.
Red stone remains in play in the 12-foot.
That was the right idea for Sherry Singler. She just didn't have enough weight to make that shot.
I thought that way, but it's up to you.
They're just going to come here.
Okay.
I think this is a good call for Manitoba. Saskatchewan does have last rock now, so even if you split the rings, you would anticipate that they would use that corner guard of their own.
Full 12. Just full 12, both you can. Oh, let it work.
Lots of room, guys.
Gotta be here, gotta be here.
We're late.
Come on.
Hard!
Gotta be here, guys. Come on, push hard.
Hard!
Good sweeping.
She doesn't have one. Great brushing. Good.
In reacting to questions about playing with a lot of rocks in play, Jill Officer said that's the way we've played all year, so we're going to have some big ends. Unfortunately, we sometimes get a few big ones scored against us.
Yes.
Seems to be working though. I mean, 7-2 and looking very comfortable with all those stones in play. And I think when you're one of the few teams that do get stones in play, it changes things. You play 8 or 9 games in a row against teams that are playing it wide open, and all of a sudden you come up against Manitoba and they have all these rocks in play. It can be intimidating at times.
And I think her point is, if you live by the sword, sometimes you die by the sword. And that is, you know, if you're third and skip are not finishing off ends, you're going to give up a ton and lose those games too. But having said that, you play defensively and it comes right down to one shot at the end of the game, you lose 2. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It does come down to comfort level by all the members of the team.
Manitoba defeated Christy Genyon by a score of 5-4 in the provincial final. We suggested there could be tiebreakers here to get into the playoff round. This Manitoba team had to go through 4 games, even though they were tied for top spot in the round robin. It was the draw to the button prior to the competition that determined which team got the bye and which ones had to get involved in tiebreakers. And Jones and her team had to play about 5 games in the space of something like 29 hours to survive Manitoba.
And the key is to keep this rock in front of the tee line so that if Manitoba tries to make a play on it, there's a jam possibility on the back red stone.
Go. Line's great. Line's great. Yep. Hard line. Hard line. 2. Line's great. Come on. Hard girls. Hurry. Push it. Push it. Come on. Quick, girls. Quick.
You got it, girls. Come on.
Right up. Very piece. Come on.
8 foot. 8 foot.
Whoa,
Got it. Come on. Right up. Right up. Right up.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Good sweep, girls.
Manitoba still has shot rock.
Just didn't curl enough there for
No, it's
Saskatchewan.
good, Kath.
Lots of room for the nose hit.
I think this will be straighter here.
Yeah, okay. That much? Okay.
There's tight ice for this out-turn hit.
Kathy Overton Clapton, one of the 5 women who lift the rock in their delivery.
Hard! Hard! Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Jesus.
Couldn't get past her own red stone.
I didn't get off, Kath.
More ice.
Despite the brushing of Officer and Goche.
Don't mind this. Do you want to nose it or freeze?
I don't know how many times I can do it.
Nose, I think, Steph. Control. Whoa. Weight's good. Yep. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Coming down. Yep. Whoa. Clean. Yes. Clean. Yep. Not a girl. No roll.
Marlise Miller really is holding a hot hand in this showdown with Manitoba.
She's a great shooter. There's just no question.
Great shot. Thanks.
I didn't know if I wanted to roll it that far.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's good.
Try to stick
Good
right
shot.
there. Yeah. Really came up at the end. Eh?
Yeah, it did.
9. Okay, Jen, kind of wait. A 9.
A 9.
Let's go.
Has she got two? Yes.
That's a great shot. That's not an easy double. And once again, Jennifer Jones is shutting down Stefanie Lawton.
I just got to make myself look good, you see.
I said, I get it. You just want to look good.
Can't call line, but I can make doubles.
I was just going to say that. That's funny.
Jennifer's taking responsibility for the missed sweep calls on a couple of Kathy Overton's doubles and hit and rolls.
Yeah, let's go.
Just when it looked as though Saskatchewan may have had things set up to get the deuce back, that opportunity appears to have been eliminated with the fine double by Jennifer Jones, and now
Hard, girls, hard. Right up, right up, right up.
Stefanie Lawton
Good shot.
hangs her shooter on the edge of the 12.
That's fine. Sorry, guys. I'm light. That's good. It's a little down, yeah.
We made reference earlier to the advantage that Jennifer Jones has over her Saskatchewan counterpart. There are the numbers, 96% to 56%. Yesterday afternoon, we went from action in the Scott to the budget, and we understand that Ralph Goodale is a real curling fan. I guess that's not surprising, seeing he's from Saskatchewan.
That's right. That's right.
He might even be looking in this afternoon after delivering the budget yesterday.
We love our curling on the prairies.
Do we need to reclaim, Julie? Maybe. After that disaster.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jones just checking that stone over. Sometimes when you run your hand over the running surface, you can feel a little nick, little pits sometimes on the running surface. You got to make sure they're all cleaned out.
I think she will be more attentive to the running surface of the stone after having a couple of picks yesterday, particularly in the first end where she gave up 3 to Prince Edward Island.
Yep.
Love to roll in here and force Saskatchewan to make the blank, make the hit and roll for the blank.
Hard cast. Hard cast. Fully on. Okay.
It's a good shot.
One stone to come here from Steph Lawton. Let's check in on Ontario and Alberta.
And Ontario again in trouble. Kathy King made the in-turn come around to the button. And the way Jen Hanna is playing, she is going to be tough to beat. Look at this shot again from Jen.
Having to move it, too.
Nice try, Skipper. Saved us again.
Delicate tap back at the midpoint. Ontario leads Alberta 5-3. Steph Lawton attempting to blank here on 5, trailing 3-1 to Manitoba's Jennifer Jones. And she'll be successful and will take the last rock advantage into end 6 as the score remains unchanged in this showdown between number 1 and number 2.
In some families, the skill of the game is passed down from generation to generation. Strauss Heart Drops, an herbal dietary supplement based on 8 generations of herbal knowledge. Our largest Heart Drop sale of the year is on now at a health food store near you.
Beyond the shore, there's a place where nature only comes in one size. A place where whales and icebergs cross paths. Newfoundland and Labrador.
The Strauss Herb Company manufactures a full line of herbal dietary supplements based on traditional European recipes. Our biggest Strauss Heart Drop sale of the year is on now at a health food store near you.
Tim Hortons Briar rolls into Regina next March, but only 2006 full event passes are on sale at the Agrodome box office. And when they're gone, they're gone. On February 24th, you can purchase in person, by phone, or online. So remember, February 24th, 10 a.m.
We really love working the dogs together. It's fun to watch the young pups as they come up in the family. And it's great to be part of the True Value family. Our customers know they can count on us for good sense, good service, and doggone good value.
True Value, official hardware supplier to Championship Curling.
That's great.
The roar you hear is 20 of Canada's top women's and men's teams competing for the right to represent us in Italy in 2006. And no city in Canada roars more than Halifax.
Let's check in on Team Canada and Quebec. It was 2-0 for Quebec, stealing singles on the first and second. Colleen Jones with 3 in the third. She gave up 1 in the fourth. Here on the fifth, a simple takeout of the Quebec Stone to score 3, and Colleen Jones now in control at the midpoint, leading by a score of 6-3. Now, if Team Canada wins and Colleen Jones leads by 3, that will eliminate Sandy Como of New Brunswick, who has 5 losses, and the loser of Ontario and Alberta, as one of those teams will have 5 losses as well. So the playoff picture could become clearer very definitely at the conclusion of this afternoon's second last draw. More to come from St. John's after this.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch? Thinking soup or sandwich? Sandwich, that's good.
No. That's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch. Okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's? Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun. And our new creamy field mushroom soup in a combo, just $6.49.
Try your first end.
I wasn't sure, but I tried it.
Your very first end.
We tried it.
You should try it.
Now we do it together.
Get out.
Go curling.
It's so much fun!
Meet between the sheets. Be part of a tradition.
Be part of a team.
You don't know what you're missing.
You never forget your first end.
Your very first end.
Come play.
Discover curling.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
Get off your line and go curling!
Hey, nobody's world is a straight line. It's filled with plenty of ups and downs, highs and lows, lots of peace and conflict, and that's what this show's about. CBC News The Hour, Monday to Thursday at 8 Eastern and Pacific on CBC News World.
I'd stab him.
I'd poison him.
I'd shoot him.
Miss Marple returns with all new mysteries that will keep you guessing.
How clever.
Until the very end.
How wicked.
4:50 from Paddington. Sunday at 8 on CBC.
The head-to-head battle in the final of the Ford Hot Shots competition featured 2 skips, Jen Hanna of Ontario and Kay Zink of Nova Scotia. These are the 6 skill testing shots the 2 will attempt to execute. When Kay Zink failed to pick up the maximum 5 points with a double takeout attempt, Jen Hanna was able to capitalize. Hannah demonstrated her curling skills by drawing the port to catch a piece of the forefoot. And the rookie skip from Ontario wound up the victor. 18 points for Hannah, 15 for Kay Zink. Hannah receives a 2-year lease on the 2005 Ford Freestyle SEL presented by Ford of Canada. Zink won $3,000, Allison Farrell $1,500. Well, Jennifer Jones didn't make the final of the Ford Hot Shots, but she has been shooting lights out in this showdown with Saskatchewan this afternoon.
Well, she keeps shutting down Stefanie Lawton. Every time that Saskatchewan has something set up, Jennifer Jones is getting everything to make it not happen for Saskatchewan. In the first end, Saskatchewan had 2 rocks in the house. You see this hit and roll attempt. She didn't get behind the guard, but she rolled in behind the other Saskatchewan stone, so it was so very difficult. Stefanie Lawton crashed on the guard. Manitoba got 2.
Fifth end, we saw a double takeout again from Jennifer Jones, caused by, again, we talked about the beginning of the game, matchup at third. Saskatchewan is really winning that battle, but Jennifer Jones is constantly saving her team. I think that Kathy Overton-Clapham you don't want to leave your skip in a bind like that every end. So we're gonna have to still watch that matchup as the second half of this game gets underway.
Yes, Marlies Miller playing very well, but the skip, Jennifer Jones for Manitoba, has made some great shots, and that's the reason her team leads by 2.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Purex Bathroom Tissue. Pillowy softness you can see and feel.
Purex Ultra, our thickest, softest Purex ever.
Hurry! 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 Come on! Hurry hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry!
Two keys.
Hey, thanks. Cheers.
Give him to me! Give him to me! Oh, I think you've sprained his neck. Alexander Keith labored on this pier since 1820, and you plonk it on the head like it's a piñata. It's the pride of Nova Scotia. Give it the respect it deserves. Now, grab that there napkin, make a wee neck brace. No, Nancy, you've done enough for one night. Wrap it around. Not a hat, a neck brace, Jimmy. Is it so difficult? It's not a fashion show, it's an emergency.
Curling. With every game played, your contact to the world expands. With over 1 million participants utilizing 1,100 clubs across the country, curling is an entertaining, social way to stay active. Play for fun, play to win, or just come out and enjoy the membership benefits. Clubs can be assisted by the Canadian Curling Association's Development Fund, which serves to promote, renovate, and offer advice on operations. Get involved. Join a club near you today. It has lifetime value.
You already know these uses for your Karcher. Here's a few you might not have thought of. The hat rack. The shower. The centerpiece. The chandelier. You can always use a Karcher.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Tim Hortons. Toasted ham and Swiss and soup combo. And by the original Strauss Heart Drops. Trust the tradition.
Welcome back to St. John's Mile 1 Stadium and the second last draw in round robin competition. The final draw takes place tonight beginning at 6 Eastern Time, and on draw 17, Prince Edward Island will play Canada, Nova Scotia versus Ontario, New Brunswick versus Newfoundland, and Manitoba against the Territories. And will one of those games have some implications as to whether or not there are tiebreakers? Well, we'll make that decision as to which game we'll be covering following the completion of this Manitoba-Saskatchewan game.
Top 4. Looks light.
Yeah, 4 foot.
Looks very light.
Oh, sorry, Jill. She had more than that last time. She had way more.
Keep going, fully in, fully in.
Ontario and Alberta right now sitting
Just
on
in
the
that one
bubble
spot.
with 4 losses.
Hey? Let's go, Chelsea.
Yeah, it is.
Of the top 4 teams, only Manitoba and Team Canada play this evening. It could definitely be a spoiler role for Carrie Cooey of the Territories or Rebecca Jean McPhee of Prince Edward Island.
And a lot hinges on this game right here.
All the way.
Who is the winner between Saskatchewan and Manitoba? So what do you do if you're Saskatchewan? You're setting up and you've got a very hot skip that is taking everything away. I think you continue to do what you're doing, and that continued pressure on Jennifer Jones, and you'd have to just hope that one of these times she wouldn't be able to bail her team out.
It's important to stay patient in a situation like this when you're having opportunities and the other team is taking them away. You're not like you're missing your opportunities. The other team is taking them away from you. It's hard to stay patient though when you're fighting for the playoff spot late in the round robin here at the Scott.
You start to wonder whether you should change your strategy or change shot making, and I don't think that's the case here. You don't need to mix things up any more than what they're doing
Good call, Jill.
as it is. It's just that the continued shot making, applying pressure.
Hey, Kath. Squeak by or tick, I guess, eh? I was wanting to tick. Huh? Yeah. It does.
Probably should have rubbed. I thought it might stop. They were saying 8.
Tick wouldn't have been so bad.
It's just been dying.
That's what I said. Back line? Sure. I like that.
So there's lots of options of where to tap
It's almost easier to play
this top red stone to. And so this is what they were talking about. If they come in with back 12 weight, you can tap it either place with the red stones creating a wall of death on either side that they'll be able to use later in the end. They want this red rock at the top of the house to stay in play. Hack is more weight than what she asked for. She wanted back 12.
Guard is good. Yep. That's good.
See Jennifer Jones trying to get that stone out of play.
That's a good shot.
You like half it roll? Come around.
Stones behind the tee line can be used to advantage by the opposition.
Yeah. I like that. I like that yellow rock there. 6 rock. It's a 6 rock.
Measure.
They're talking about the number 6 rock. There must be some suspicion that Kathy Overton and Clapham's rocks were over curling. That they've brought it down to, of course, the second has to throw the bad rocks.
Didn't appear to overcurl with that one.
Get out.
Okay, Julie.
2 open misses in this game from Jill Officer. 1 in the first end and 1 here in 6.
Yeah. Let's go, Sherry.
Saskatchewan blanked N5 to retain last rock advantage. And at the moment, it is appearing as though that strategy could pay off.
Close. Needs to go.
I wouldn't be counting anything until after Jennifer's finished shooting.
Quite true. We thought the same the last end until Jennifer Jones with her final stone made that fine double.
Get up there. Come on. Push, girls, push. We're over curling. Keep on it. No, it's not even there. Keep on it. All the way, all the way. Okay, that's good.
Marlies a good brusher. She's an encourager too. You can hear her as she's sweeping, encouraging the other brusher. Come on, let's go. Just an absolutely intense competitor. Never takes a break.
Just clean. Careful. Clean. Yep. Whoa. 9.5. Whoa. Whoa.
We got to stick a cap.
Whoa.
I'm with you.
Okay, that's good enough.
Nice weight.
That's good.
Sit.
And the rock just thrown will become third shot. Let's check in now, Ontario and Alberta.
Kathy King had the in-turn indicated here to start, and then she switched in the hack to the out-turn hit. This is a, not sure if this is a hit for 1 or 2. The stone over curls, and it will result in a measure of those 2 stones. It looks there fairly clear that yellow is shot, and it did turn out that Alberta would win this measure. So a missed opportunity there for Kathy King. Chance to tie the game.
Yeah, deuce there would have been huge to get her back on even terms. She trails by a point with 4 ends remaining.
Very nice shot by Sherry Singler here, called the freeze.
Oh, okay.
Ends 5 and 6. BC and Newfoundland blank. The score there remains tied at 2.
Just clean. No, 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 no. No.
This
Clean,
needs to
clean,
curl a little bit.
Whoa, whoa, yep, whoa. Oh, hard, Jen, hard.
Would have liked to have sprung that stone out of play.
It may be second
We hardly got any of it.
Somebody's counting.
Call was actually to hit that almost on the nose and spring it out off that stone at the back 8 foot, and Kathy Overton Clapham struggling just a little bit in this game.
Yep, for line. Yep, for line.
It's good.
Line's great. Yep, tied line. Here for sure, guys. Tied line. Hurry, quick line. Line's great. Come on, right down. Right down, right down, right down.
Where are we? 9.
Yes. Hard. Hard.
Okay, that's good.
Sorry, guys.
Saskatchewan has shot rock. Checking in on Team Canada and Quebec.
This was a simple draw for 2 here by Brenda Nichols to pull within 1 of Team Canada. No mistake.
3 in the third, 3 on the 5th for Team Canada. The first multiple point end for Quebec, and it's a 1-point game now. 6-5. Canada leads through 6.
Good. Clean.
9.5 to 10.
No, no. Clean, yep.
Whoa.
Yep, yep.
Hard.
Whoa. Whoa.
Like to save the shooter here.
Whoa.
Those yellow Saskatchewan rocks hanging around. You never know if they might come into play.
You're tempted here to play the double and bring those yellow stones into play.
Do that well. It's gonna roll that way.
You like? We could take the double too.
Okay, freeze. Freeze.
Do you like that?
I like the
Stepper,
double
like
too,
we
John.
get the double.
So the guys are hoping for a miss.
We're sitting second here.
Stephanie Miller thinks that
Your choice.
thinks
like
that rock at the in the 12
to
foots of those rocks that are in the 12 foot, that the yellow is out counting the red.
Same weight.
That's why I would
Yeah,
like
pretty
the double.
close, the same weight.
But we've made the comment on previous telecasts involving the Miller sisters that while they both have skipped teams to Canadian Junior Championships, when it came time to determine who would skip this team, there was never any doubt it was going to be Stefanie all the way. You can hear the intensity in the voice of Marliese Miller, and her shooter just hangs on for shot.
Great weight. Yeah, did that one? Yeah, I don't know how you're throwing them. Did that one cut to? Pardon? I thought I was closer to the brim on that one. Pardon? I thought I was closer to the brim on that one. Yeah, you cut harder.
A little bit messy here for Manitoba with all these stones at the back of the rings, but again, Jennifer Jones can't take too many risks here. She needs to make sure she stays, and again, that will just provide more backing for this next shot. And the key stone here is this stone here being what is thought to be now fourth shot. If Jennifer Jones would roll out here and knock one of her own stones out, there would be a double there to lie to for Saskatchewan.
So I like that weight on your second was a 9.75.
What are we throwing here, Jen? 10?
Just a 10, yeah.
Regardless, if Jennifer Jones hits and sticks on this takeout, Saskatchewan still has a freeze to try to generate their 2 points.
Absolutely, 3 stones at the back of the 8-foot, which is it's a great opportunity for Saskatchewan.
Whoa. Whoa.
Little firm. Little full.
Whoa. Yep, 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 yep.
Okay. Okay.
Manitoba lies at least 3, maybe 4.
9.5.
Let's check in on Kelly Scott of BC against Heather Strong of Newfoundland Labrador.
This was a very complicated end by lots of rocks in the 4-foot. BC made a terrific shot to remove one of those Newfoundland Labradors from the 4-foot, forcing Heather Strong to draw against this one in the 4-foot, and it's a steal for BC to go up 3-2 after 7.
First time that Kelly Scott has had the lead in this final round robin game for her team.
2 to 4 inches, something like that. Yep. Let's go.
BC at 7-3, the same as Stefanie Lawton. Colleen Jones 6-3, Alberta and Ontario 6-4 and 5-4 respectively.
Where?
No! Oh! Whoa! Close! Let it work! Whoa!
Want to move that stone Jennifer Jones just threw only a couple of inches is what Stefanie Lawton indicated. She's got plenty of weight here. Sweeping for line.
Roll it, Chelsea.
Go, go, go.
Good shot.
Pretty tough stone to get rid of. But it may be there. Nose hit might spin it out of the rings. Pretty tough.
Yeah, sorry. I would have the perfect shot if you just took it. Yeah, exactly. Face of that one.
It's hard to pick it and not clip 7, and then she just got that double.
No. Even the freeze isn't bad.
Yeah, but if I nose it, it should go over top.
Yes.
Or do you like that?
I don't mind that.
I gotta
don't
be
mind the
perfect,
freeze.
though.
Yeah. Okay, then either or I'm good with.
Can't be a nose, though. It's got to be like, so you hit half of it, and then it
Yeah.
goes onto there, but that's just okay.
Intern pick not there, Kat? The intern
Pick?
You're
Pretty
gonna lose
thin,
the
but you're going to
7.
lose the 7.
And then she plays a double for a bunch.
Well, if I hit it really thin, we don't lose. You want to just try that?
I just don't want to. We're going to lose one of these here. Actually, the nose hit almost makes more sense.
Yeah. With 9?
Yeah. Nose should go over top of these.
Danger here for Manitoba is they hit
No
this stone
hit.
on the
No.
high side and jam it. Shooter would roll out of the rings, and there'll be a little double here.
8.5 to 9.
Little double on these back 2 stones for 3 possibly.
Do you like this or the freeze?
I like this.
Okay.
So what the call is a nose hit.
8.5 to 9. Try to follow it through, Jill.
Losing one of her red stones, but the Saskatchewan stone sliding clear of the back red stones.
It looks like Saskatchewan will have a shot for 2.
Shade last.
Possibly.
Yeah, it'd be a tough shot.
Be very tough.
Key shot here for Jennifer Jones in the 6th. This is by far her best game of the competition, curling at 97%.
No!
Will the Yellowstone belonging to Saskatchewan spring across the top with this contact? Oh, she drives it back into two at her own, but that isn't bad.
That worked out great for her.
That worked out great.
Plan B.
She's got nothing
Or
to
C.
do, I don't think.
And you look where this Yellowstone spins to.
Yeah.
It goes up in behind that stone at the back 8-foot, and there is no double possibility there now. That was a good break for Jennifer Jones.
Yeah. Take it.
No shot for 2 there.
Well, Jennifer had said initially that she didn't think a nose hit would spring that stone across. And then she thought she might just have to catch about 3/4, 7/8 of the stone to get the rock to roll across.
She was actually trying to run it off of her stone at the back 8-foot and missed it. And I said that jam, if she hits that stone about a half an inch higher, shooter rolls out, and this would be an open hit for 3 for Stefanie Lawton. But good break there for Manitoba. Not the shot they were calling, but turned out very well. And worked out again. Jennifer Jones forcing Stefanie Lawton to take a single point.
Jennifer Jones is having one of those days. She's not making the called shot. She's making a just as good shot.
This is not on the red stones yet, but she does have backing on her own as well.
Yep, we can't hit the red one first. Whoa, then. Whoa. Good shot. Good shot, Steph. One yellow?
And with the final stone of the end, Stefanie Lawton does pick up a single point, and it's again a 1-point game with 4 ends remaining.
Good shot.
Elevating the new Ford 500 means raising the seats for a better view of the road. It means as much room in the back as in the front. It means taking the sedan to a whole new level. The new Ford 500. We keep thinking about what a sedan should be because we want you to drive a Ford.
For centuries, the Strauss family harvested herbs throughout Europe. Practicing herbalists, they've been handing their recipes and processes down through the generations. 7th-generation herbalist Jim Strauss learned the craft at his grandmother's side, gathering and tasting herbs from the time he could walk. Strauss Herb Company, celebrating their 25th anniversary with 25% off 50 and 100 milliliter bottles of the original Strauss Heart Drops. On sale now at participating health food retailers.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts is coming to London's John Labatt Centre next February, and full event passes are on sale now. For the best seats in the house, you can call toll-free or order online. Come join us in the Forest City.
As official supplier to Curling's Season of Champions, True Value Hardware presents quality products for your house. True Value paint, made by us and made to last. We own the factory. We test and retest our paint. We guarantee it every can at every store. True Value, around the corner from your house.
Canada's new online magazine for arts, media, and entertainment. The latest trends and ideas shaping music, film, television, books, and more. Bringing you face-to-face with the people and issues shaping culture today. cbc.ca/arts. Saturday night.
Our objective is to win the war.
Going behind enemy lines.
Drop him now!
To find one last survivor.
I can't leave and gather your gear.
Saving Private Ryan. Part of CBC's Movie Night in Canada. Saturday.
Jennifer Jones regains the hammer, leading by a point, ready to play end number 7. As we mentioned yesterday, she has been plagued by congestion, an ear infection, and a cough. And on the weekend, they could not contact the Canadian Centre for Ethics in Sport. It was closed, so they had to wait until Monday before they could finally make the call to find out what type of medication she could take and not test positive because there is drug testing at these trials, or at these the Scott Tournament of Hearts, because of the Olympic trials coming up in December in Halifax.
Curling abides by the rules as an Olympic sport, and recognize the banned list of substances for athletes, and a distribution list usually is sent out to all the teams that qualify for Canadian Championships, so that they are aware of what things they can take. And obviously you run into a little bit of trouble whenever you've got colds, cold medicines, because there's some tricky
Line's tight. 4.
There's a lot of steroid-based substances in anti-inflammatories in cold and flu medications. You have to be careful.
I know when we went, there was a certain brands of drugs that one kind with a red lid was okay and another kind with a blue wasn't, and it gets very confusing.
Don't get sick is the answer.
That's right.
Let's check in on Ontario and Alberta.
And Jen Hanna again with an open hit for 2. And with the shot she's made so far, I don't see her missing this one. No mistake.
You know, you see Jen Hanna make the shot she just did. You have to feel a little sympathy for Stefanie Lawton and her Saskatchewan team.
7, guys.
She has run into some hot shooters.
8.
And Colleen Jones in the 7-3 loss. Jen Hanna with the incredible shot last night to win. And Jennifer Jones this afternoon.
I couldn't agree more. That definitely Saskatchewan has played good enough to win those games and didn't get those wins. But this one isn't over yet. Jennifer Jones has played very, very well through these first 6 ends. As we have seen over and over again at this tournament, you better not take a break, because teams will come up with a big score and take control of the game.
Clean it. Pull 8. Way out
I was by no means suggesting that Manitoba was going to win this.
Line's good.
Well, you know, it's a logical
Corner freeze it.
leap.
Wait.
When a skip is playing 97%, it's you could just guarantee that to happen for the rest of the game, and you could guarantee that win.
Very good numbers for the 2 leads. Chelsea Bell has only played
I don't mind.
1 takeout so far.
Well, do you want to bump that guy out?
That makes sense when
one of them
Manitoba
out.
got 2 in the first end.
Back line.
Did I just... Can we cross the face?
Well, that would be great, yeah. If we can, I don't know. It works in there pretty good, though.
I don't know, I
So
like
back line.
We like that red one behind our yellow, kind of, but
yeah,
we got to move it. We got to get them off the button so we can get shots sometime.
Yours not too bad.
Yeah. They're shot right on the button there. Okay. What, wait! Back 8!
Just freeze!
Back 8 or...
Okay, move it back a bit.
Okay. Back 8. Okay. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go. Move them around just a little bit. Sherry.
Earlier in this game, we saw a couple of good freezes from Sherry Singler.
Close line, yep.
Weight's great.
Room.
8.
They were trying to decide whether they wanted to freeze or tap the shot stone back.
8, 9.
It all determined on the line. They really wanted to get to the face of the shot stone.
6, 7.
I don't think it's all that critical to move this stone at this stage.
It's there. That's good. Nice shot. Great shot.
Nice touch.
Very good shot by Singler. Let's update now Team Canada, Quebec.
And Colleen Jones facing 2 Quebec stones here. Just trying to draw down to the stone at the back of the 8-foot, and this stone will not curl.
And it just keeps sliding and rubs off the yellow. And as a result, it's a steal of 2 for Brenda Nichols, and she now has a 7-6 advantage over Colleen Jones and Team Canada with 3 ends remaining.
The little cheer we heard came from Sheet A, both teams with 4 losses having a look.
They didn't cheer, really.
Well, silently.
Silently. You know, these games are also very close, Mike, and we talk about teams watching other sheets. Not unless you had a playoff berth sewed up would you really be peeking over. These teams got their hands full. Ontario and Alberta.
Do you like playing that one?
BC, Newfoundland.
That's hard stuff.
They are not in the clear.
Do we got this yellow in there? Yeah, but that's spilling right off. It's rolling out.
We don't have to get shot yet, right?
We get close to the nose, we might clip that.
If we just sit in there.
Wanna play that? That's actually pretty good.
We don't have to
It's a great situation for Saskatchewan. Those two red stones are surrounded, and they cannot be improved upon. They're on the tee line already, and not a great position at all for Saskatchewan. They're looking at hitting this stone. I still would be tempted just to freeze another one right down into the pocket there. And
we're just saying we don't have to get shot right now, but well, where do we go though? I don't know.
What if you just tap this guy back a little bit and
sit there? That's a better shot, hey? Yeah, I don't mind that. Just tap it and sit.
Okay, Sherry, just tap this back a little bit. Like just T-line weight. Just move it a couple inches.
maybe move this red stone back a couple inches as well.
Same weight you just threw.
Well, Jill Officer with her shot
You can't sit right there.
clipped the long guard.
Triple will be there.
How's the line? Whoa! Needs to go! Whoa! Okay, yeah, then, yeah!
Yes! I'm good! I'm good!
Hard, girls, hard! Real hard! Come on, get a little bump, little bump,
Looks good.
little bump.
It's a beauty.
A couple of fine shots by Sherry Singler on this seventh end.
Great brushing.
Manitoba has some issues here. They've got a lot of yellow at the top of the forefoot to deal with.
They can still peel.
Me too.
You got all that yellow, but I don't know what it does.
Doesn't do anything, and I think that back red's helping us because that means that red's not.
Well, if you got to the nose of that yellow, you're going to lose the red that's shot raw.
I know.
But you're saying when we peel, that back red one's helping us.
We got to make sure we score.
Just going to peel the
I mean,
guard.
we can guard, but
They're talking about this back red still helping them because it is offers some protection to that red stone that's on the button. So they don't want to make a play on those top yellows just yet.
Second, I mean, let's just peel.
And the reason why that back stone is helping them is because of the angle on this stone. If that back red gets removed, then Saskatchewan can just make a play on their own centerline yellow stone.
The decision is to remove the guard.
Well, they certainly have shot stones surrounded.
Queen! Good job. Spreader, Chili.
Got a girl.
Words of encouragement for Jill Officer, who is a little downcast after missing her previous stone.
I've had 2 or 3 big misses from Jill so far, and
Play this one
that's
up a
really
bit?
what's been getting
Okay.
Manitoba into some real trouble, forcing Jennifer Jones to come up with some
Soft
big
nose
saves.
here.
And you can see now Saskatchewan is making a play on that shot stone. They got to get rid of that back red stone. That's the one that's hurting them right now, not the one on the button.
Back 4. Do you like that, or else we could do this too? Get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Do you want a time?
That you kind of have to play with weight. I like this one. Just hit off the nose a little bit. Yeah.
I like this call too. It's time.
Back 4, back 8. Back line, okay.
I think either one is good. You just have to figure out which angles you want to set up best. But key is getting rid of that back stone at the back of the forefoot, that red stone we talked about.
Whoa! Whoa! No! No! No!
Only asked for back 4 foot, back 8 foot weight here.
We're not on it yet.
Ticket!
Okay, that's a good shot. Very nice.
They needed to move that back stone another few inches. And this was our matchup pre-game. And as we mentioned, Marliese Miller's winning that matchup.
No, I don't think so.
But Jennifer Jones at
I
skip
get it.
is
You wanna hit
taking
here?
away that advantage.
Yeah. It's not bad, because then that goes. And this is the one that's killing us. Either that or we play this double,
But
and the
then
two
that
yellows and the red
one's
go.
going- I don't know how far that 2 is going to play that way.
I think we get this half high, Jilly.
Yeah.
Lots of yellows go away.
That's probably not bad, Kath, this way. Because that just goes back
Just
in ours.
high, eh?
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be able to save my shooter, though.
I think 3/4 is not bad.
Okay.
Feel weight? Okay.
Looking for a half rock on the outside.
Think peel
This
weight.
will
Yeah, I do.
get rid of this rock.
Peel weight.
And they're hoping that this also will spin off and a
3/4.
whole bunch of yellows might be moving. The only yellow one remaining would be the first one that they hit.
You can't get rid of all of them, but they certainly need to clear things up. It's just really messy right now for Manitoba.
2 yellows could be removed here with this stone.
Certainly 2 of them will be off the 4-foot, which is great. I mean, big trouble right now.
Kathy Overton Clapham trying to open things up for Manitoba.
Whoa, close, close, whoa, close, whoa. Curl. No. Curl.
Will it curl enough?
It's not bad, Kath.
Okay.
She just hit it too thinly.
All right, Kath.
Let's check in on Newfoundland, BC. A big game for Kelly Scott. She was down 2-0.
Too bad.
Came back to tie it with 2 on the 4th, then stole one on the 7th. And with the jam, she steals another on the 8th and leads by 2 with 2 ends remaining.
Normal.
And BC's
like
been
normal?
really putting the pressure on in the last 2 ends after
Straight up.
wide
Like
open
9-5?
start to that game.
Yep. It's even just a hair off the nose will get it. 9-5?
Normal or control?
9-5.
I'm not sure whether I like playing this stone with weight. If Saskatchewan is successful to move those red stones around, a double or a triple is surely going to be available on the placement of the yellow stone.
Now that that angle has changed, the red stone at the back is now helping Saskatchewan. Be a big one.
Both reds go out. Marliese Miller making the double.
Good shot, girl.
But there's a triple left here for Kathy Overton Clapham. She's already making her way down the ice.
Probably, yeah. That's good.
Watch where these yellows end up.
At least they're not going to
Hit that stone on the left.
Quarter gets all 3.
Quarter stone.
What kind of weight did she say?
Quarter stone gets all 3.
Good throw.
That's a lot of arrows, and it's a thin double with a lot of weight.
Watch the shooter start spinning. If she hits us on the right angle, it may spin back up.
Kathy Overton Clapham trying to execute a possible triple here, trying to get rid of all 3 Saskatchewan stones.
That's a good shot.
She
Good
just
Very nice, Kath.
nudged the 1 stone, left it sitting on the button.
The triple, so just get the 2 for sure.
For sure.
But importantly, she got rid of 2 of them.
Well, you know, this has been a great turnaround for
shot.
Manitoba.
Play
Even
well.
though Saskatchewan's going to come down to hit and lie 2 now, the fact that Kathy Overton Clapham's shooter stayed in the rings forces Saskatchewan to make a play. They're going to have an open shot to score.
That's fine. Take
Big
our
sigh
one.
relief for Manitoba.
We were just going to get one the other way if we guarded all day anyway.
Yeah, no, and that would have been.
Yeah, scary one.
Yeah, because they're right on the can. Shoot.
Kathy Overton Clapham disappointed that she didn't get all 3, but getting rid of 2 of them was extremely important.
Good shot.
We'll see if Jennifer Jones continues her aggressive ways here and plays a little tap back.
Good shot.
Stefanie Lawton has been creeping up as far as her percentage is concerned after 3 ends, she was at 42%. She's now at 71%.
I said she had some really tough shots those first couple of ends. Almost impossible shots, 2 of them especially. So
she is not playing badly. She's still making the makeable shots.
You got to stick full 8.
It is this young woman that is standing on her head and really making things tough for Team Saskatchewan to try to create 2 with hammer and getting herself out of trouble. Manitoba is getting themselves out of trouble so that they're able to maintain that 1 point when they have hammer.
Sometimes statistics don't tell the entire story.
Jennifer Jones looking for a hit and roll here, over half in behind the shooter of Stefanie Lawton from the previous shot.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Sit. Okay.
So close.
Rolled just a touch too far.
Thought we made it
and
perfect.
Another couple of nice shots from Jen Hanna forces Alberta into a hit for 1.
Sorry, too much weight.
Yeah, I thought it was 10.
Thought we made it perfect.
Kathy King picking up a point on 8, trailing by 2 with 2 ends remaining in this showdown between 2 teams with 4 losses.
That was almost another incredible roll there from Jennifer Jones. That rolled about an inch too far. Otherwise, Saskatchewan would have been forced to play another short raise. That would have been 2 out of nowhere.
And instead, Saskatchewan now will just split the house, try to lie a second point, and force Manitoba to the 1 point.
Nice, great. Hard, girls, hard. Push it. For weight. Whatever you think. It's not curling much. It's not curling much. Whoa. Clean it. Yep. Yep. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it. Come on. Whoa. 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 That's fine. 5B8. Whoa. 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 Great shot. Oh.
Yeah, I was
double
thinking,
possibility for 2.
They got too lazy at the end of that sweep. They needed to bring that all the way back so that there wasn't a double there.
I know.
And do you think Jennifer Jones is thinking double? I'm sure she is.
But even if she doesn't make the double, just moving it over an inch.
There is a double there.
Will get her second point.
So we got to roll it in to be full 8. But if we can just knock it like an inch.
Yep, that's all you got to do.
9.5. Same weight I just had, really,
what a turnaround this would be. That was the look for a longest time that Saskatchewan would have a great chance to steal here.
And a combination of the draw not curling and then not being brought back far enough has set this double up.
We talked about this yesterday. When you're throwing it in the rings, you need to if you're going to leave a double, force your opponent to play a shot from the outside into the 4-foot, and it makes things more difficult. This is a
steal still is possible here for Saskatchewan. Jennifer Jones attempting a double, trying to get the 2 yellows out of there. She rolls over. She's going to do it.
What an end.
3 doubles by Jennifer Jones with last rock in this game, and she is in control, leading 5-2.
Who is that?
I like that face. He didn't show us. What kind of girl, Jen? Well, the first one I just... Mine's great.
The roar you hear is 20 of Canada's top women's and men's teams competing for the right to represent us in Italy in 2006. And no city in Canada roars more than Halifax.
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch? Thinking soup. Or sandwich? Sandwich, that's good.
No. That's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch, okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's? Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun. And our new creamy field mushroom soup in a combo, just $6.49.
best curlers are coming to Victoria. Now there are new ticket packages ranging from 2 days to 4 days and priced from just $75. Call toll-free or online at FordWorldCurling.com.
This is where the world will rock, Victoria. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
5 days. 5 panelists debate 5 great books. Canada Reads, this week at 11:30 on CBC Radio 1.
Stefanie Lawton has seen in 3 losses, and in another potential loss here, the opposition skip shoot lights out. Jennifer Jones has been putting on a clinic this afternoon.
Looks like it's absolutely. It's one of those games where if you are Saskatchewan, you say, "Uncle, I give up. Quit making everything." But on the flip side of that, Saskatchewan was down 6-2 to a very hot skip, Jen Hanna, last night, and came back, tied the game, and almost won it.
In a 7-3 loss to Team Canada, Colleen Jones 84%, Sandy Como 89% in a 6-5 loss. Last night, Jen Hanna with the incredible final shot in a 7-6 win.
Scott, 2.
And you talked about Jen Hanna continuing to hold the hot hand as she has the 7-5 lead on Alberta, Mike. She is curling 94% this afternoon.
Good shot, Good shot.
Let's check in with Team Canada in their game with Quebec.
And Brendan Nichols' Quebec team still forcing Team Canada to make some great shots, and Colleen Jones with a cold draw to the button against 2. Tie the game up after 8. Quebec has hammer and 9.
7-7. The defending champion in this battle with Brendan Nichols of Quebec.
Line's okay. Whoa. No, clean it.
Is that a double on the 3rd end for Jennifer Jones?
Yes.
Double on the 5th end? And a double on the 7th end.
I wouldn't be putting rocks anywhere close to each other in the 9th.
Nice touch there from Kathy Gauthier. Nice separation.
Good judge.
Stone at the top 12, top of the button.
Shot, Kath. Thanks, Jen.
That rock just dies your first
I know it is. It's a little bit
Kelly
of a
Scott playing 9, leading 4-2 against Newfoundland Labrador. Big game for the BC representatives. They do not play this evening. They would finish the schedule at 8-3 and be assured of a playoff position, possibly the 1-2 position.
How's the line? Yep. Yes. Get the nose. Get the nose. Get the nose. Whoa.
Not both, but either of the 1-2 positions.
Okay, Chelsea, that's good. Nice shot. Sorry. Okay, Jill, authority.
Do you like the peel, Kath, or do you want to do
BC
this?
and Saskatchewan complete their round robin with the games this afternoon. The winner of
I think the
Alberta,
yellow rock in the
Ontario,
I like the peel.
still with a shot at forcing a tiebreaker.
I like the peel. Tighten her ice up. Do you like that ice?
So very exciting, these last round robin games always. And as a curler, in Canada, I always want to see the Scotch Tournament of Hearts showcase our best players. And I have to say, this year has just been an absolute delight to watch the great shot making right across the arena, all 4 sheets. Anybody can beat anybody. Some wonderful new faces, and the quality of the curling has been wonderful.
And as we have pointed out before, these new faces have all had success at the junior level. Sherry Singler at second stone on this Saskatchewan team, the only member of the team who has not won a championship.
And of course, Sherry didn't start curling till she was beyond junior age. She didn't start curling till she was 23 years old, and you know, to be contending here at Scott, starting that late, it's, you know, it shows what a great athlete she is.
Talked into coming out and sparing by her mother, a curler of note in the province of Saskatchewan. Her mother Judy played second for Sherry Shyrick in '96 in Thunder Bay, and then in '97 at the Olympic trials.
Clean. Yep. Just clean. Good.
That's a good shot by Jill Officer.
A 3-point lead here for Manitoba. They're not taking any chances. They know that Saskatchewan's going to have to make a play on that stone at the top 12 fairly soon, and that will leave them a double opportunity more than likely.
The last corner, yeah.
Manitoba showing some patience here in 8.
And Saskatchewan's goal, obviously, to get 2 points. They're not out of this game with the free guard zone and 2 ends left, and being only 1 point down.
Where, guys? 2, 3, 2.
Bring it hard at the end, Charles.
Mine's pretty good.
Real
Easy,
tight, real tight.
easy, easy. Okay, yep. Tight, 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 tight. That's good. Nice shot.
Good shot.
Corner freezing. No.
Earlier in the game, we may have seen Jennifer Jones try the double here, but just looking at a, again, 3-point lead, just out-turn peel. Shooter roll away.
Earlier in the game, we heard a comment from Kathy Overton Clapham to Jennifer Jones. You didn't want me to make a shot so that you could be the star with a double. She may have made a similar comment last end when Kathy was attempting the triple. Only got 2 of them, setting the stage for a double for Jennifer Jones again.
Well, Kathy made 2 great shots that end too. I mean, there was the front end got them into trouble last end, and Kathy made a couple of doubles, and final double by Jennifer Jones to get the deuce.
Wait. Back 8.
Again, a little sweeping error just shows you know, any small mental error is going to cost you in this with this talented field.
Get it moving.
As a team, Saskatchewan has a slight advantage over Manitoba.
Yep. Line's great.
Whoa. 8, 9.
9. Close. No.
Like to bump this straight back onto the Manitoba stone on the button.
Yep. Split him. Yep. Chelsea. Run it, Chelsea. Over, sir. Yep. Okay. Yep. Back us.
So Manitoba wants to remove the second shot. Yellowstone wants to stick around, though, too. Not sit there, though, because there'd be a double.
There is lots of stuff right there. And
Okay,
right
Kat,
there,
let's
there's
speak this,
2
right?
there.
Like the shooter to roll out into this area.
10. Yep, clean, yep. Whoa! Yep. Hard! Whoa!
Lots of
taps. Yep. Whoa! Yes! Hard, Jill.
And Overton Clapham will roll the shooter just slightly.
Didn't want to roll out. Good brushing. Shot.
Like that. Yeah. Even right on it, Marlene.
Shot. Sorry, I
No,
rolled
that's
a little
okay.
better.
You want to stick it.
Yeah.
Fine, good job.
I threw that all right?
Threw that well, yep. Do your peel well.
We saw in the 6th end, Saskatchewan continued to play freeze after freeze after freeze when they had opportunities to make double takeouts and lie two, and it ended up costing them. I'm not convinced that this is the best call here either. I would be tempted to hit that stone on the button and try the double, at least roll over to try to group those two stones together rather than leave your opponent's stones in the rings. But nice shot here. That's a great shot. Still can pick that out though.
Let's go. Want to just pick it?
Thanks.
I'm almost thinking pick it.
That double?
I'm almost thinking to pick it, Cal.
Okay.
Because I mean, or do you think that's easy? Like it's gonna clunk it pretty good to
Yeah,
get
I
that
don't want to
roll.
play it too cute. I mean, if we stick around over here, that's
Yeah.
all right too.
I don't mind to pick it.
Okay. Just is there a double on the red here? That's all.
Yeah.
That's the only thing is if we could stick over here somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay.
We don't
So-
have to be cute with it.
Yeah. 9.
You have to be thinking ahead as to what you might leave your
You know, we're not
opponents.
going to stick it with 9. I think we should just pick it. Make
Okay.
her make that double.
Do you want less? Then?
No, that should be good. A shade less. Shade. Yeah, right on the rock.
I like
Deal.
the way
Just
they
pick
think. Just make your opponents make the shot. Don't hand them a mistake. Don't come down, chip your own out, roll the shootout, give them an open hit for 2. Just
Pretty
pick
hard
it clean. Force Saskatchewan to make that tough
I don't
double.
know. Make her make that double. If she makes the double, then I'll just make the double.
She makes a double, I'll just make the double. Piece of cake.
Up normal the field. 8.5.
Well, when you're currently 95%, that's how it feels. You know, drawing the button looks the size of the forefoot, and you know, doubles are easy. You can see them in your mind's eye. It's a great place to be. You can go a long way with a hot skip in this game.
Will she chip this stone out? Yes.
Very nice.
It's good brushing as well.
Great sweeping, you guys. Good brushing.
Nice shot, Jen. Great shot.
I thought if she makes a double, I'll have a double. You know, if she makes it on this.
Not an easy double, but
Timeout called by Saskatchewan. They're wondering whether they should play the freeze or try this flat double.
the tough thing about the double is if you don't make it, you're going to pop that Manitoba stone behind your stone at the top of the 12-foot, and you'll end up being forced to 1.
She might just have a double if we make it.
Yeah. Well, I gotta
we
make
gotta
it
make
too.
it too.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's right there to make.
Yeah. Should we freeze or should we make it?
I like the freeze. You just threw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
well,
yeah.
you threw it, but I mean, you
Yeah.
have the ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I think even if you tap it a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there room for the intern freeze? With that
I
card?
think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's where I froze. Yeah.
The option is though the double. If there's an option because she'd be throwing an intern double too.
Right.
Oh, you make the double and she's got a double.
Yeah. So let's
the
go
freeze.
for the freeze.
I like
that because we could get free this way if she just jams it right on. Is that where you gave me ice?
I think that's a great conversation, and
That's
it's
good.
hard to
Let's go,
find a
Steph.
fifth player that will actually give you input because it's somebody that's new to the team. And Sherry Anderson, I think, had some good advice, and that is even if you made this double and got over here, stuck it, you would leave a double on those 2 yellow stones. So she's saying the best chance to get to is make this freeze. Even a little tap, you still should be having a good chance of getting your 2 points.
Well, Sherry Anderson, the woman you referred to, lost the Saskatchewan final to Stefanie Lawton. And of course, Sherry Anderson has competed in a number of Scots, losing the final in 2002 in Brandon to Colleen Jones. The line is great. What about weight?
Great shot. Good sweep, girls.
I'm wondering if they could yell harder.
She touched that one when she was sweeping.
Trying to encourage that rock to come a little bit farther in the house.
I'm surprised either has a voice left. Russ Howard always goes hoarse about 3 days into the briar.
Come on, your line's great. Perfect. Come on, Hart. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. Come on, Hart. Hart. Great shot. Good sweep, girl. Yeah.
Do we have to cover them again, or what? You know, it's part of the game, and you just stand
still
up.
got that for two. I think we just pick it. It goes right onto here. And make her double easier, but or it should go behind if I pick it right. What do you like?
I don't know what the decision is. I think that it's a straight pick.
Do you?
They talked briefly about the double, actually, which is crazy, but running the yellows in because if they play the double, they'll lie
Well,
two.
the pick or the
It's an easier shot. Right now, Manitoba is shot rock.
You got to play a different turn, though.
You got to play the other turn, that's all.
We pick it and she takes one who's behind right now.
Well, no, she'd play the double for two, Jill.
What do you guys like? You like the hit and roll?
Actually, no, I don't mind the hit and roll on this one.
But then we're giving her the double for two.
Yeah.
We're leaving her the double for two either way, Kat, regardless.
I see. Regardless, we're giving her that. Okay.
But I'm just thinking.
Don't mind the hit and roll on top. It's up to you.
Yeah, okay.
This pick, we could lose that one. Couldn't we?
No, I think it would. Well, it depends how you hit it.
Yeah, it might go across the top and actually tap it back and take away the double.
I think it goes behind, or it might go into there and leave an easier double.
Might.
Let's just go this.
Okay.
They're going to play the hit and roll to the top of the 12 foot and force the double. They don't think that they can pick this stone cleanly without maybe losing this stone over here, leaving an open hit for two. So they've elected to hit the top, roll the shooter, and force them to play the double for two.
Just throw it and make it.
Yeah.
And again, coach and fifth player came out and said, you know what, no matter what we play here, she's going to have something for two. So let's, which one do you want her to throw? Let's make her make the double.
Final stone from Jennifer Jones on this eighth end, leading by 3, but in danger of giving up a pair to Saskatchewan.
Would love to roll just about a rock. And leave a short little tap back here for Saskatchewan. Easy bump.
Okay, Jeff.
While we await the final stone in this match, let's check in on Team Canada and Quebec.
Interesting shot here. Brendan Nichols actually playing a tap back for two with backline weight and wrecks on her own guard and bumps it into the rings. Fortunate to score one.
Leading 8-7 with 1 end remaining. Quebec ahead of Team Canada and Colleen Jones.
You are. Let's go. Yep, let's go. Straight at her. You bet.
Even though Quebec got one, there's good opportunity for Colleen. Only down 1 now instead of down 2 playing the last.
Big shot here for Saskatchewan to stay in this game.
Yep. Whoa.
Tap back to get a pair. Trying to move her own back onto the red rock, and she does successfully, picking up the deuce. And with 2 ends remaining, it's back to a 1-point game. Manitoba leading Saskatchewan.
Good sweep, girls.
Hurry! 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 Come on! Hurry hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry!
it can affect more than your back. Robax Platinum, a special combination of 2 active ingredients, one to relieve back pain, the other to relax tense back muscles. Robax Platinum, helping you walk away from back pain.
Come try your first end.
I wasn't sure, but I tried it.
Your very first end.
We tried it.
You should try it.
Now we do it together. Get out.
Go curling.
It's so much fun!
Meet between the sheets. Be part of a tradition.
Be part of a team.
You don't know what you're missing.
You never forget your first end.
Your very first end.
Come play.
Discover curling.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
Get off your line and go curling!
We came here for the rivers and mountains. Penny's our gardener. She's blooming smart, naturally. Folks come in. We know what they need. Drop by for some advice. I'll show you how to tie a fly.
True Value. Help is just around the corner.
Hogwarts is no longer safe. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened.
I smell blood.
Scared, Potter. You wish.
The adventure, the magic, and the danger return. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Clever out there.
Sunday, March 6th on CBC.
Let's check in on end 9, Ontario and Alberta. Jen Hanna of Ontario leading by a score of 7-5, facing 3 Alberta Stones as she delivered her final rock.
Just a routine draw to the forefoot. She does have backing here. Kathy King actually came down to that back, so she had an opportunity to go right into the top of the button and made a little mistake. And of course, you can't leave Jen Hanna any openings today. Three-point lead.
She leads 8-5 and looks to improve her record to 6-4 with a win.
Take a look. Hard. Just for weight. Just for weight.
Tonight, Ontario will play Nova Scotia. Will,
Hard.
4 losses,
Nice shot, Chelsea.
get into a tiebreaker.
Great shot.
Last rock advantage on end 1. And Jennifer Jones picked up 2. She got 2 more with a fine double in the 7th. And Stefanie Lawton came back with a pair in the 8th.
Heavy?
So it's a 1-point game with 2 ends remaining.
Gotta go for line. 6. 7. Whoa, got room.
It's only a 6.
Whoa, whoa, just full 8.
It's only a 6.
Whoa. Good.
Very nice. Nice rock placement. That's where you want your lead stones. And as we had said earlier, Dawn, the Team Saskatchewan knows that this is the 9th end and Jennifer Jones is into the double thing on the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th. I'd be worried about the 9th.
Well, same situation they were in last night against Ontario. They're down 1 playing 9 without the hammer. They managed to steal against Jen Hanna. They certainly need one now.
Let it work a bit if we can. 6. Whoa.
Well, they were down 6-2, and they looked to be in real big trouble, but they fought back. They got 2, then stole single points, and appeared to have the winning shot behind cover. Not much that Jen Hanna could do.
To the nose. A little less weight then, eh?
And Hanna made the incredible shot coming through the port to tap her own back to the button for the winning point. A 7-6 victory, Ontario over Saskatchewan.
Slider.
5, 4. Whoa, for line.
Whoa. Clean it.
No line, Jill. Nothing.
Right off. 7.
Right off. Right off. No, right off. Right off.
Tapping it.
Right off. Right off. Right off. Right off.
Curl.
Okay.
Always get the bad angle on calf. Always is straight jamming all the time.
I knew I had more.
It appears to be lined up, red onto yellow, onto the red Manitoba rock sitting on the top of the button.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
This one does look
If we
like
get to the
it
nose, it's
might
pretty good.
spin a
Like
little bit.
normal?
Throw this with quiet weight though. Try to keep it partially
Get a
buried
little
behind the
inside.
corner
It's
guard.
pulling it this way a little more because it's lined up to like almost spin off the back. Okay.
It's a little
Do you want
error.
normal?
Actually, when you hit the stone on the low side, it will also
A
pull
9.5.
the back stone in this direction as well a little bit, and will spin. It'll take a lot of.
But it's not going to go completely that way. It'll still run onto
Right.
the red stone. What
Just
Mike means is that it'll actually spin
away from
away
that
from the center line. Yes.
Just control. Yeah. Control. Whoa. Whoa. Control.
You'll see a
Whoa.
great amount of rotation on this back stone. Watch the spin.
That's
And
good. Okay.
That's
good,
kind of a
Sherry.
rookie
Sorry,
mistake
girl.
there, thinking that stone was going to be dragged the other direction, and it's called the drag theory. And when stones are frozen together,
moving
actually
it
the
out?
back stone reacts the same as the top stone does and gets pulled in the same direction.
What do you like?
I like the feeling.
I didn't mind that.
So you're suggesting
No,
an
that's-
engineering
that's
degree
really
is
sure,
helpful in
fine.
You know
calling
what?
shots.
You can win a lot of free lunches on that one. You can line up two guards on the center line that aren't going straight back, and you can actually pull the stone right back onto a stone in the button. It's true.
And that explains a lot about your shape.
That's right.
Unkind comment, Ms. McCusker.
I'm always good for a free lunch, Joan. You know that.
Good 10 though, Joey. 9.5 to 10.
And I think, Don, just to answer your question about do you need an engineering degree, this is something that you line up in practice, and it's experience to figure out where those rocks are going to react. You can do that at your club and figure out if you hit rocks on certain angles, when they're frozen, how they come off of each other.
Let's check in Ontario and Alberta. And Jen Hanna is still very much alive in the chase for a playoff position as she defeats Kathy King of Alberta by a score of 8-5. So Ontario improves to 6-4. Alberta now 6-5, and Alberta and Sandy Como of New Brunswick now have to hope that Colleen Jones and Team Canada lose to Quebec and then lose this evening against Prince Edward Island for 5 losses to factor in to tiebreakers.
Sorry, I was miscue on mine.
Well,
You needed to hit it on the outside.
you had to hit on the nose too.
Nose.
Keep the angle the same. If you don't hit on the nose, then the angle changes.
I know.
Stupid. Yeah, Chelsea was saying we have to hit it.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Close. Whoa.
Sure, Manitoba's relieved this end's a little simpler than that 7th end was for them.
Good job.
Started off
Okay, Joey.
so
Fine,
much
right?
better for Manitoba this end because Kathy Goche got her first stone into the top 8 foot and not right down to the button like she did in the 7th.
This is great. Okay.
Great job. Fix the main thing.
Wouldn't be the end of the world for Saskatchewan to force
But we gotta be
Manitoba
shot.
into taking one here either and be down 2 coming home and with the hammer.
Control. Clean. Wow. Whoa. 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 Clean up. Whoa. Yes. Yep. Yes. 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 Run. Hard run.
Nice shot. Still open, but a very nice shot. Taking a look and seeing who is second shot stone. They're very close between those two.
I think it's Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
The overhead camera would seem to suggest that.
Yep. Yep, for sure. Whoa. Yep. Little firm. Yep.
Trying to keep this one from touching the red as they go
Right
after
to
the
it.
shot rock.
Go, go.
They get it just by.
Too bad.
Let's check in. BC, Newfoundland, the final stone. And 10. Kelly Scott drawing the 4 with the final stone to win it by a score of 5-3. There was a Newfoundland Labrador stone just shy of the 4 foot. The home province hoping to force an extra end, but Scott wins her 8th. And she has the evening off and will closely be paying attention to the final draw because she could wind up in first place. She defeated Jennifer Jones in round-robin competition.
I'm thinking not.
And criteria for determining order of finish is games involving the teams that are tied.
Even if we bump that out a little bit, hey? Isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who shot? Who's second?
It's tough. I don't know.
We could just freeze tap too.
No, Marlies, hit it. Get rid of this guy.
If they blank here though, it's not horrible, is it? Kinda.
Question
Do you
is,
like nosing it?
who is second shot? And it's tough to tell at this stage. You heard Stefanie Lawton express some doubt as to whether they were actually lying second shot.
They don't want to hit and roll and group the 2 yellow stones together. They want to stay over on the side, but it's so close to the other red stone. It's a tough hit.
Okay, good shot.
That is a good shot.
We should have got a little nudge on the outside one. Good shot. Good sweep.
Jennifer Jones would like to roll this buried for that exact reason, that the short raise would result in a grouping of Saskatchewan stones.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. No. No.
Will she get a roll? Yes.
Right over then. Hurry.
Sweep it, someone. Guys, we could still go with the roll there.
That's fine.
Roll it over further.
Shot.
Should I put it back?
No, you threw it well. It just maybe a bit more. I don't know.
A bit more weight?
Maybe. I thought you had firm on your first. Just didn't take the
it
same path. What?
Further.
Yeah, but
Nobody
I don't.
rolled it.
Well,
Well,
but
oh,
I don't
so
mind
makes you
tempting her to go behind and then
Okay.
and run the double.
Then I'll just run the double. Again.
Again. As you said, Mike, confidence.
Clean, yep. Yep.
Such a big factor in the way a curler plays.
Clean. Yes. 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 Hard. Hurry. Yep. Right up. Good shot.
It's interesting that neither team can really determine who's second shot. Makes a big difference in strategy here.
Last stone to be delivered. Quebec leading Team Canada 8-7. Brendan Nichols with her final stone caught a piece of the button drawing in behind the guard. Here's the final stone from Colleen Jones.
A tremendous shot by Brendan Nichols under pressure to get behind that guard and into the 4-foot.
It's a long way out, this one.
It has to curl or Canada's going down to a defeat.
It's not going to make it.
It's going to be a steal for Quebec. And Quebec defeats Team Canada by a score of 9-7. So now Team Canada has lost 4.
Good game.
So there is a very good possibility of a tiebreaker tonight.
Team Canada still has to play PEI in the final draw tonight.
That puts Jen Hanna fate back in her own hands.
She plays Nova Scotia's Kay Zink.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
No, 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 no.
Whoa!
That's okay.
It's tough to tell whether it's yellow Saskatchewan, red Manitoba has shot rock. It appears from the overhead as though it might be Saskatchewan.
Okay, Jen.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We're going to see an interesting situation here. They initially called the nose hit here, and those two yellow stones look very familiar to what happened in the 7th end. The double, if she noses this and does not remove that back
So we're gonna get the roll behind.
red stone,
Oh, we might get the roll behind.
there will be a double. They're actually looking to make the double and roll into the top of the 4-foot here.
And they got to be careful to, if they tried to play the hit and roll, of jamming on that back red stone.
Leaving another
and
double.
Double double. And we all know what's going to happen if a double is left in the 9th end for Jennifer Jones.
9-5. Okay, let's do it. Close. Close. Whoa. Whoa.
Is she going to drive it back onto the other red? Yes, she is not going to move it far enough to take it out of the rings. And the shooter will roll too far. It is now 3rd shot.
Big mistake. I think it picked. You heard the sweeper say. They were just kind of cleaning, and all of a sudden it really went.
Do what it was supposed to do.
Oh.
Didn't.
Great sweeping by Kathy Overton
bad,
Clapham to
you're
get this
totally on
stone
the
out
side
of the
of it.
12-foot.
Should have been off of that. Well, no. Yeah, more. No, we need more.
No, we
speed.
need a
What are we throwing here, 10?
10.
All right. Good throw, Jen.
Hard clean it the whole way.
You bet. I'll stay down.
So a chance for Jennifer Jones with the final stone of the 9th to head home without last rock, but leading by 3. The only game still to be completed on this second to last draw.
Just clean. Clean. Just clean.
Hard clean. Hard clean.
They're happy with the line. She needs a nose hit. She's got it.
Very nice, Jennifer.
So Jennifer Jones with last rock picks up 2 on the 9th end and leads Stefanie Lawton of Saskatchewan by 3 with 1 end left.
So, Randy, what do you think of my curling game?
Well, Jim, it looks to me like your game needs a little bit of help. But your family of Strauss products are right on the button, like Strauss Heart Drops, available at a health product retailer near you.
In some families, the skill of the game is passed down from generation to generation. Strauss Heart Drops, an herbal dietary supplement based on 8 generations of herbal knowledge. Our largest Heart Drop sale of the year is on now at a health food store near you.
Tim Hortons Briar rolls into Regina next March, but only 2006 full event passes are on sale at the Agrodome box office. And when they're gone, they're gone. On February 24th, you can purchase in person, by phone, or online. So remember, February 24th, 10 a.m.
The engineers at Ford didn't just make a new spark plug. They made a new 5.4-liter, 300 horsepower Triton engine, delivering 80% of its torque at 1,000 RPM to go with that new spark plug. We keep thinking about tough because we want you to drive a Ford.
When we set out to replace Cottonelle with an even better Cottonelle, we asked women, what could be softer than cotton?
Flannel. Silk.
Cashmere. Oh my. Introducing new Cashmere from Cottonelle, now quilted to be irresistibly soft.
When Canadians want to know the whole story, they turn to CBC News, bringing you the Canadian perspective. The source Canadians trust. CBC News The National with Peter Mansbridge. Weeknights at 10. I'd stab him.
I'd poison him. I'd shoot him. Miss Marple returns with all new mysteries that will keep you guessing.
How clever.
Until the very end.
How wicked.
4:50 from Paddington. Sunday at 8 on CBC.
It's coming up here, coming up here, coming up here. There. I taped that up to CNN.
The war in Iraq?
That's right. Those grasses, I think, would be absolutely perfect in the planters on my back deck.
Well, that would be an Iraqi grass, but I can come very close to that type.
Very good, very good.
Play hard, ladies.
7-4, Manitoba leading Saskatchewan. A victory by Manitoba would guarantee a first or second place finish and the all-important opportunity for 2 playoff games to advance to the final.
That is huge. The 1-2 playoff game is an absolutely wonderful spot for you to be in, and that's what's going to happen. If Manitoba finishes it off here, they will guarantee themselves a spot in that 1-2 game, no matter what happens later tonight.
Manitoba 7-2, BC 8-3. BC would get first place if Manitoba loses tonight to the Territories because of the victory by BC in round-robin play over Manitoba. These are the games tonight. Prince Edward Island Team Canada, Colleen Jones now needing to win. Ontario's Jen Hanna back in the picture, very much so. She is at 6-4, playing Kazink of Nova Scotia.
Hard, girls, hard.
New Brunswick 5-5, hanging on to a slim hope that 5 losses might be good enough to get into a tie-breaking situation. And Kathy King of Alberta losing this afternoon to Jen Hanna, also with 5 losses. She has to hope for a couple of losses tonight that would move them into a tie-breaking position. Canada versus Prince Edward Island tonight. A must-win game for Colleen Jones, the defending champion, and that will be the feature game, but we'll also be taking a very close look at the game between Ontario and Nova Scotia on Country Canada this evening, beginning at 6 Eastern Time. However, this game between Manitoba and Saskatchewan is not over, but it's going to be a struggle for Stefanie Lawton and her Saskatchewan teammates to get 3 points against Jennifer Jones on this 10th end.
We saw them against Team Canada actually have a shot for 3, a very difficult shot for 3 in the 10th end in this exact same situation. There was an open miss though in that game from Team Canada, and the first peel attempt was nosed by Colleen Jones's rink and allowed them a second stone into the rings behind that corner guard.
No.
You want to just peel, or?
I like the one in the house.
You can see it all. Jen, go ahead.
Okay.
I like the one in the house. I mean, you can always... Yeah.
Peel, wait. Peel? Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah, I agree. It's one or the other. You need to make all 8 shots here for Manitoba.
Well, Saskatchewan was sailing along with a perfect 5-0 record until they faced Colleen Jones and Team Canada. They lost that game 7-3.
Whoa, whoa, make sure, whoa.
All right.
Okay.
An either-or shot.
I thought that rock was run.
You
It
know
looked like it just jumped.
That was a good call by Jennifer Jones to not go hard on the sweep, to try to wishful thinking to get by that guard and just hair it and leave the guard and the one in the back of the house. So she let it go. She called the sweeping off to make sure they're going to clunk that guard pretty good.
It's good. Mine's good. 1, 2. Easy. 1. Okay, yep. Hard then, hard. Real hard, quick. That's good. Great shot, Sherry. Great shot.
And time is a bit of a factor in this game as well. Saskatchewan's clock is down to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And Manitoba's is around 5:50. Which should be enough,
Yep.
Mike. It's just, and it shouldn't be
Right to
that
it.
complicated in decision making that the teams would have to slow down during the end.
Certainly for Manitoba, they're just going to be throwing big weight hits. Won't be an issue. And as long as the play stays open, there won't be much decision making either for Saskatchewan. They can throw 2 more guards and they need to come into the rings.
I'm tempted to say over this way. No. Okay.
The only real issue for Manitoba is to avoid a nose hit in attempting the removal of a guard.
Or a flash.
3. 3.
It's on its own. 2, 3.
It's fine.
2, 3, 3 on its own.
3, 4. It's fine.
Sit. It's a 4.
It's 4.
It's in.
No, that's fine. Hey, Sherry, that's good.
Do you want to play the double?
What do you guys think?
I almost just like getting it out.
Get rid of one.
Okay.
I agree.
What'd you say?
Peel.
Peel away.
The danger of playing the doubles, if you nose it straight back and jam it, your stone will be at the top 12 foot and can be used as a guard. So straight peel is the correct decision here.
Whoa. Yep.
3-point lead, no need to get too cute.
Good. Hard, Jill.
Stay with it, Jill. Stay with it. Get out. Hard. Go, go, go.
Go. It's a good shot.
Good, Kathy.
Manitoba staying intense on the rolls even. They want to make sure there's nothing in play.
Straight peel? 2. What's that? Straight peel?
Go hard.
2.
Okay, wait. Line's good.
Line, no. I think we need to go a little bit.
Line's good. Just for
Line's great.
Easy.
It's a 2.
Easy for line.
Who's in line?
Oh, if we can. Yeah.
Good shot, Marlene.
Good shot, Marlene.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan rapidly running out of rocks here on the 10th end.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Good, Kath.
Well, due to the fact that Ontario defeated both Team Canada and Saskatchewan, if Ontario and Canada win this evening, Ontario would be awarded 3rd place, and Saskatchewan and Team Canada would play a tiebreaker for that 4th position.
Thanks.
We could play the double, but if we
both
missed it.
Ontario and Canada do have to win.
Tight, guys. That's last. That's last.
Yes,
Go.
Ontario
Go,
tonight.
Charles, go.
Jen Hanna plays Kay Zink of Nova Scotia.
2, 1.
Colleen Jones and Team Canada
stop
go up
now,
against
stop now.
Rebecca Jean McPhee of Prince Edward Island.
And that will be a tough game. We saw how big PEI came up against Manitoba, just trouncing Manitoba in 7 ends. So again, certainly the talent to win. And Colleen Jones is going to have quite a fight on her hands.
8-2 was the score for Prince Edward Island over Manitoba yesterday. Manitoba tonight playing the Territories.
Gonna wait, Jen?
Peel. Yep. Just nice peel, though. Like, I won't fling it.
And depending on the number of tiebreakers that may be required after tonight's last round robin draw, and that is determined. If there's only going to be one tiebreaker, it'll be played tomorrow in the morning. If there's going to be several tiebreakers, they have a system set up of whether they'd have to play another game tonight. It would only, I don't think that scenario exists in this field, that there would be tiebreakers starting this evening. Most of them would be scheduled for tomorrow.
Even if there was 2 tiebreakers, they would play them both morning and then afternoon tomorrow.
Good. Great keeping, guys. Great run to pull it back.
Jennifer Jones, by far
Throw
her
that very
best
well.
game of the competition, shooting 91%.
I can't imagine where she dropped off from 95. She's just played so well this game, and not easy shots either. She's made, so as we referred to, several doubles, and just a great pressure game. This was a huge game for them. They could have dropped to as low as 4th place with a loss to Saskatchewan.
It's a great time of the week to start making all your shots and peaking. because from here on in, they're all pressure games.
Top 12, top
Well,
8,
the only
good.
way that Alberta's Kathy King and Sandy Como of New Brunswick still have a shot at getting into a tiebreaker is if both Canada and Ontario lose this evening.
Okay, good shot.
If Ontario and Canada win, it's Saskatchewan versus Canada in a tiebreaker.
There it is.
And the 3-4 game would have Ontario play the winner of Saskatchewan, Canada, the tiebreaker. The 1-2 game, Manitoba, BC.
And this could be the game right here. Would be kind of appropriate, actually, if Jennifer ended the game with a double.
I'm running out of fingers, but I think that would be 4 doubles.
Sorry.
What are you throwing? We're good. We're good.
Just like 9.5.
Okay, good
It's
throw,
nice
Jen.
weight. Hard clean it.
Good throw.
Yeah. Try to throw it better than that last one.
Very meticulously cleaning the running surface of her stone as she gets set to throw the final rock.
Well, there's been 2 picks in the last 2 ends, so I just want to be extra careful.
Clean.
Jennifer Jones of Manitoba with her final stone on this 10th end. Removing one of those yellow rocks belonging to Saskatchewan will assure her a victory. And that's exactly what she does. So it will go into the books as a 7-4 Manitoba triumph over Saskatchewan.
Thanks, Stephanie. Great game. Good game. Good luck tonight. Thanks. Good game. Good game. Good luck
Manitoba
tonight.
now at 8-2 with the game remaining tonight against the Territories. They are assured of being in the 1-2 game in the Page playoff format, but a win tonight will assure them a first place and last rock advantage.
Hi to everyone in Winnipeg and Baker Lake and Aikens. Hi everyone.
Hey, Canada, Ed Canada, hey, Sharky.
Hi, Andrew McKenzie.
They all got in their greetings. We'll be back.
Ever notice the way guys love to use their Karcher? Is it because of Karcher's German engineering, incredible features, exceptional styling? It's because Karcher really cleans. Karcher invented the first household pressure washer and sells more of them worldwide than anybody else. Karcher is also the world leader in commercial and industrial cleaning equipment. Everyone loves their Karcher. Can you blame them? Trust Karcher. You'll look for things to clean.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts is coming to London's John Labatt Centre next February, and full event passes are on sale now. For the best seats in the house, you can call toll-free or order online. Come join us in the Forest City.
Curling. With every game played, your contact to the world expands. With over 1 million participants utilizing 1,100 clubs across the country, curling is an entertaining, social way to stay active. Play for fun, play to win, or just come out and enjoy the membership benefits. Clubs can be assisted by the Canadian Curling Association's Development Fund, which serves to promote, renovate, and offer advice on operations. Get involved. Join a club near you today. It has lifetime value.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
Friday night.
What's up?
The laughs are on us.
Until there's a massive release of energy.
Starting at 8 with Royal Canadian Air Force.
Rock on.
Followed by This Hour Has 22 Minutes.
When you have it,
You have. Then at 9.
Modify this.
The Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
I am K-Lo, the Kmart version of J-Lo.
This week on CBC Comedy Friday.
Finally, a normal guy.
Welcome back to the Scott and St. John's as we review what happened on this afternoon's 16th draw. Jen Hanna of Ontario against Kathy King of Alberta. A little tap back against 3 en route to an 8-5 Ontario victory. Ontario now with a record of 6-4. Kelly Scott of British Columbia drawing the 4 with the final stone in a 5-3 victory over Heather Strong of Newfoundland Labrador. Her record 8-3. And Team Canada Quebec on the last end. Colleen Jones had to remove the Quebec stone. Instead, it's a steal by Quebec and a 9-7 Quebec win. And Team Canada now at 6-4. 2 in the first end for Jennifer Jones in her game with Saskatchewan. She was never headed, led all the way, and ran Saskatchewan out of rocks on the 10th end. And it is recorded as a 7-4 Manitoba win over Saskatchewan. The final scores on draw 16 here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. So Manitoba and British Columbia are assured of finishing in the 1-2 position in the Page playoff format. And tonight's games will determine who joins them in the playoffs.
The Canadian Curling Association appreciates, understands, and wishes to acknowledge the importance of local sponsorship to curling teams across Canada throughout the curling season. In an effort to recognize local corporate support of teams which have achieved the privilege of representing their province or territory at a Canadian Curling Championship, we are pleased to provide some deserving profile to their respective corporate supporters.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch?
Thinking soup.
Or sandwich?
Sandwich, that's good.
No. That's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch, okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's? Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun. And our new creamy field mushroom soup in a combo, just $6.49.
The world's best curlers are coming to Victoria. Now there are new ticket packages ranging from 2 days to 4 days and priced from just $75. Call toll-free or online at fordworldcurling.com.
This is where the world will rock, Victoria.
Well, there was a suggestion at the start of the competition that a Jones might be in first place at the end of the week. A lot of people thought it might be Colleen Jones, the defending champion, but it's Jennifer Jones of Manitoba with an 8-2 record and assured of finishing either first and second, an important spot in the Page playoff format. Saskatchewan with a 7-4 mark. Ontario and Canada trying to keep pace. They need to win tonight if they are going to keep pace with Saskatchewan. Otherwise, the 5-loss teams could have a shot. So tonight, the role of spoilers will be in the hands of Kay Zink of Nova Scotia and Rebecca Jean McPhee of Prince Edward Island. These are the games tonight. Prince Edward Island and Team Canada, Nova Scotia and Ontario, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Labrador, and Manitoba will wind up against the Yukon Northwest Territories. So for Manitoba, the only real difference is that if they win and finish in first place, Mike, they have both the hammer and rocks for that Page playoff game.
It's a very comfortable position for them, and go 8-3 and guarantee themselves a Page spot. That's always your first goal. Let's get into the playoffs. If we can have the hammer, great, but not a high priority. I think the games we got to focus on, we talked about it, is the Ontario and the Team Canada matchup. Colleen Jones could go to 6-5 if they happen to lose to a hot PEI team who started off so poorly but came up big against Manitoba earlier in the round robin.
And then Jen Hanna continued to sneak through the field and play extremely well over the last few games. She's now won, 5 in a row, and she's in position?
Oh, she looks very good. The last couple of games playing very well. She herself making everything in sight. I think the question mark is whether her team can keep pace with their opposition.
Well, they've got a big game tonight. As I said, they play Nova Scotia. It's Team Canada against Rebecca Jean McPhee of Prince Edward Island, and we saw the Islanders curl very well yesterday against Manitoba.
There's no question the Islanders have the skill. It's whether their communication and the chemistry on that team will let them keep pace with Team Canada.
Well, Saskatchewan and BC are finished, so they know what their record is going to be, but we're still a little uncertain as to the final records for the teams in this competition.
Well, I think when we talk about Team BC, we saw them up and down all week too. Kelly Scott and her team, Kelly in particular, fought draw weight midway through the week here, but she came up against a tough Newfoundland team tonight, team that had nothing to lose and made shots when it counted, and they will be very confident going into the playoffs as well. And I think the BC-Manitoba matchup in that 1-2 game is going to be a great contest.
Well, it would be a great contest from a number of angles. The fact that the two of them were teammates at one time, both went on to win junior championships.
Well, as important as that Page playoff game is to Manitoba, more importantly is how well Jennifer Jones is playing. She needs to continue that play tonight against the Territories, because if she can carry that skill level into the Page playoff game, she will be hard to beat in this tournament.
Well, if she does lose to the Territories tonight and drops back into a tie with BC, BC would be awarded first place based on the fact that Kelly Scott defeated Jennifer Jones 7-4 in the round robin. But Jennifer Jones is all smiles heading into the final draw.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Scotties Facial Tissue. Soft for our seasons.
Did you let the dog out this morning?
Scott Towels, getting you out of big messes.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada. By Karcher, you'll look for things to clean. And by Tim Hortons, toasted ham and Swiss and soup combo.
Six championships in her career, 4 in a row. But to make the playoffs, Colleen Jones has to win tonight against Rebecca Jean McPhee of Prince Edward Island. And that's the game we'll see on Country Canada beginning at 6 Eastern Time. It's going to be a tough battle for Colleen Jones based on the way Rebecca Jean McPhee and her team played yesterday in defeating Jennifer Jones of Manitoba by a score of 8-2. Jones today clinching at least first or second place with her win over Stefanie Lawton of Saskatchewan.
CBC Sports.
Canada's Olympic Network.
When Canadians want to know the whole story, they turn to CBC News. The source, Canadians trust. CBC News, The National.